It's your girl, Blue Pac, baby. From the boot where the real ones talk slick and walk heavy. She don't do rumors, she do receipts. If you said it, she got it. If you did it, she show it. Truth teller, big stepper. That's Lou Pac, baby, no pressure. Yeah, truth teller, big stepper. That's Lou Pac, baby, no pressure. Yeah. Straight out of Louisiana, she don't duck, no smoke. Call her the queen of receipts, she keeping folks woke. From fake friends to baby daddies getting exposed. If it's messy, she gon' clean it up. Real talk mode. Independent, raw and loud with it. She ain't scared of nothing, she proud with it. So if you coming fake, don't step in her lane. She called names and receipts, gon' explain. Truth like, baby. All truth, all gas, no brakes. Truth teller, big stepper. That's Lou Pac, baby, no pressure. Yeah, truth teller, big stepper. That's Lou Pac, baby, no pressure. Yeah, it's Lou Pac, baby. All truth, all gas, no brakes. Yeah, all truth, all gas, no brakes. No brakes.
Yeah, you tuned in to Lou Pac, baby. She don't follow trends, she follow facts. Receipts ready, energy heavy. Let's go.
L-U-P-A-C, baby, don't play. She speak facts, you see. Truth talk, clap back. All receipts on deck. She stand tall in the booth, got respect on her neck. I-N-D-E, yeah, she grinding with ease. P-E-N-E-N-T, bring in truth to the streets.
Go. She don't do drama, she drop data. Scroll the page, now or later. You'll see lies get exposed and the fake get froze like refrigerators. Name ring bells like second line. Speak real, no need to lie. She from the south with a strong survivor. Snakes don't make it out alive.
L-U-P-A-C, ain't no faking on the screen. Call a judge, call a jury, she deliver with the heat. You won't clap, but she got truth. No sugar in her speech. Independent, bold and real, this Lou Pac, baby. Capiche?
They scrolling, she exposing. They trolling, she compose. See, Lou Pac don't just react, she decode what's not disclosed. From screenshots to timelines, receipts in real time. You playing checkers, she playing chess. Every move defined, got that hustle in her bones. No cosign built to own. Views go up when she speak up. This platform here a throne.
L-U-P-A-C, baby, don't bend. She speak facts, you see. Truth talk, clap back. All receipts on deck. She stand tall in the booth, got respect on her neck. I-N-D-E, yeah, she grinding with ease. P-E-N-D-N-T, bring in truth to the streets. L-U-A-C, baby, don't bend. She that truth in your feed when the lies get blown. Y'all watching, y'all lurking, but she grown. L-U-A-C, baby, don't be. She that truth in your feed when the lies get blown. Y'all watching, y'all lurking, but she grown.
This ain't gossip, this ain't rumors. This is real talk, backed by real proof. Welcome to Lou Pac, baby, where every video got purpose.
Hey y'all, happy Saturday. What is up, everybody? Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for being tuned in on this good old Saturday, baby. Who y'all? The weekend almost over already. We need 4-day weekends. That's what we need because these little 3-day weekends, well, 2 days and a half is not cutting it. I'm sorry. Once Friday is over, everybody work Friday. Then you got, Saturday and Sunday. And Sunday is the day of reset. So you ain't really doing nothing too much anyway. So we gonna need an extra day added on. Cause this ain't enough, child. This ain't enough. I need a little more. I don't know about y'all, but I need a little more. Okay. Anyways, but good thing the weekdays do go by fast also. So it ain't just the weekends. But shout out to y'all, what y'all did today. Let me find out y'all in the house like me. I went out yesterday with my son, so today I'm in the house. I'm in the house today, y'all. But anyways, shout out to y'all. Let me see who we got up in here. Let me go up to the top on this good old Saturday. Y'all know I was supposed to come back yesterday, which I didn't promise it, but I said I did that live early yesterday morning, and I possibly would have came back that evening, but we ended up going to eat. So yeah, we're here today. We're here today. Hey Shaquinley, hey Toya, Queen Sax, Nuki. We got Latte Eminem in the building. My bro Terry coming through with the Black and Gold Hearts, copyright and fair use. Miss Witty. We got Queen Love Mail in this thing. Glam Goddess, Shell. Shout out to Toya for my first super sticker. A little something to get the party started. Period. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. Miss Diggs. We got Pam Rowley in the building. That's a new name. Let us know if you new in here. Scorpio Stings, Miss Tracy, Miss Tanya, my love. We got, hold on, let me go down. Shout out to Scorpio for my second super. You are appreciated, girl. Discussion board in the building. Christina, Miss Shalene, Miss Coretta. We got Miss LaWanda, Jazz So Jazzy, Miss Fila, one of my beautiful mods, Miss Lena. We got Tina in this thing, Anita. Okay. Miss Darlene. We got Kira. Who else? Miss Sandra, Miss Vanessa. Solid as a rock. Shout out to you. Hey, Jaisha. Hey, Miss Stephanie, Miss Jackie, Christina Mills in the building, Miss Deborah Kennan, Miss Shirley, Tokyo Blues, Beyond Compare, Creations, Miss E. Who else? Who else? Let me see. Courtney. We got Michelle the Bell, another one of my beautiful moms. Shout out to all of y'all if y'all in here. I'm forever chosen. We got, let me see, Ace Stokes, Miss Angelique. Shout out to you, my love. Miss Melody, Miss Vonda. We got Rakita in the building, chosen by God in the building. Who else? Let me see. You say waiting on the fight. Oh, it is a fight tonight. I forgot about that. That's where a lot of people is. I forgot all about that. I ain't watched a fight since Mayweather. That's the last time I watched it. Hey, all 5 of me. Hey, Unapologetic. Shout out to you for being a 19-month member. Shout out to my green team, period. We got Miss Patricia. We got Maddie in the building. We got Miss Sandra, Miss Duncan, Giselle, Rebecca Cry, Miss Teresa House. Okay. You said, let me find out the judge is harassing slash, but no, let's not start that, y'all. I hope my caption didn't confuse anybody. The reason why I put that, I said, will the judge be lying on Bree next month too? Is because they say, they say everybody be lying on her. As if, everything she does is a good thing. No, ma'am. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. That's why I put that caption like that. So people can see like what's really going on. Everybody's not lying on this girl. Okay? Period. Like make it make sense. Latae, don't start. Your name was one of the first ones I mentioned because you was all the way at the top. Hey, Miss Sheila. Thank you, Miss Sheila. Hey, Miss Janice. I love you more, Miss Angelique. Who else in here? Okay, that's it for now. They're going to come in. Y'all know how they do. My live is impromptu. So as we progress, more and more people will come in. But shout out to the ones that's already in the building. I hope y'all got a notification because I know a lot of people don't get them. For some reason, I still haven't figured out why, and I guess I won't. Maybe it's just a YouTube thing with the whole third-party streaming. I still need to do an impromptu live streaming directly through YouTube so I can see what the gems and the rubies is about also, but also to see if people going to get the notification because this ain't working out, okay? We need people to know when we're going live. I could see if we're not going live, at least 30 minutes in advance because they did say you need to have at least a 30-minute heads up 4 people to get the notification. So I always do that for the most part. So I don't know what it is, y'all. But anyways, if y'all would like to donate to me monetarily, you can cash at me $sign Lupac 2. You can also buy me a coffee. Shout out to my coffee people. You can also support the platform by getting a super chat or a super sticker. Y'all know I always set a little goal of 15. It ain't much, it ain't mandatory, but it is greatly, greatly appreciated because it contributes to the revenue of this particular live stream. Okay, period. You can also support me by getting a membership. Shout out to all my members, days 1, 2s, and 3s. We will be doing our love pot this week coming. Shout out to us. Y'all know what it is. I ain't even gotta go into detail, but yeah, that's gonna be this week, y'all. I just gotta put a date on it. But you can also support me by hitting that like button. Hit the like button, watch the ads, and hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. Hey, y'all know where it's at. If you don't know, it's a little feature that YouTube added. You know, anytime you click on a live stream or a video, you should see it. It'll be like the second slide on the video or the live stream. It says hype. Okay. So that's that, y'all. But anyways, this was supposed to be a continuation of the live streams that I did about the lease situation. So what we're gonna do on this live, y'all, is we're going to go over the lease in its oh Lord, I don't want to say in its entirety because the lease is so doggone long. But I feel like me going over the lease will kind of rebuttal some of the extra lies that have been told about this situation because she signed on the dotted line. So at the end of the day, she signed the lease agreement. Regardless of what people say, regardless of the different narratives that are being spread, she signed the lease agreement. Okay? Your signature is your bond. It's your word. You know how you can give your word verbally? It makes a bigger difference when you sign something. That's like pricking your finger and you know hitting it with a little BLOOD. Okay? So that's why lawyers tell you to be careful of what you sign. Period. Like I don't know no other ways to put it, child, but it is what it is. And yeah, we shall see next month. Next month is quickly approaching. Matter of fact, but y'all, I gotta start getting ready for Ham for her birthday because her birthday is on the 24th, child, and she don't let me forget. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for her. Oh Lord, Ham is so dramatic. She want everything, y'all. Like I gotta start planning her birthday way in advance because she's so extra. But you know what? My baby is a good child. Like, even though she's extra, she'll share everything she has with whoever. So, you know, I don't mind doing for her like that because she's very generous. Like, she'll give her last. She take that after me. She'll give her last to people. So I don't mind spoiling her. Even though sometimes, you know, she be a little extra when she's spoiled, but it is what it is. Oh, and y'all, my baby took his driver's test today and passed it with flying colors. So my baby gonna be getting his license Tuesday. I'm excited for that too. Now I gotta get him a car. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm not ready, y'all. That's my oldest baby. I'm not ready. But I was so proud, and I'm gonna get into the topic, y'all. Y'all know I just like to talk a little bit, but I was so proud because when I picked him up from doing his driving stuff, the instructor was like, "Your son is so well mannered." He said he's so respectful. He said, "I wish all the kids could be like that." And normally they're supposed to drive more than one day. Like they're supposed to get a certain amount of hours. And he told me he was done. He was like, he did so well, he don't have to come back. I said, okay, period. But that make me feel so good. Like, and that's not even just with my oldest. Anytime I go to the store or anywhere, y'all, people are always telling me how respectful and well mannered my kids are. And that make me feel so good because that's the goal. That's the goal right there. It's not about what your kids do in front of you, it's about what they do when you're not around. So that make me feel so good. Like to know that my kids are living by how I'm raising them when I'm not even in their presence. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. But anyways, thank you, Antasia. Thank you, my love. Tell me something good. Bow, bow. Shout out to you. Thank you for my super. You say, hey, Lupac, baby. I in chat. I'm back from vacation and catching up with the tea, baby. It's a lot of catching up to do. Okay, you can't miss one day on YouTube, or you miss a 2 week, like 2 weeks of teeth. You miss like 2 weeks of teeth if you miss one day, unfortunately. But let me see. And shout out to everybody that's coming in after I done did the shout out. A collective hey to everybody. Please, y'all hit that like button as y'all come in. I love all of y'all equally. I swear, even if you don't hear me shout your name out, just know you are appreciated. The view is appreciated. The engagement is appreciated. The supers are appreciated. All of that. Okay? Period. Anyways, y'all. So let's get into it because y'all know these lives be going by so doggone fast. So let me pull up the first part. Matter of fact, I already got the first part of the lease on here. Um, yeah, we're gonna just skim through this. We're gonna skim through this one because I read this one to y'all the other day, but I didn't put it on the screen. So we'll skim through this one, and then the parts that y'all don't know about, those we're gonna get into those too. Let's see. Let me go down. Where you at? I don't see you. No, you're on the screen. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. And I redacted all personal information because I'm not finna dox nobody, and I don't want to be responsible for no trolls harassing this man. Okay, because y'all know how people do in this saga. Like they harass innocent people on account of La Onya. So Pac ain't giving out nobody's information. I'ma always redact personal information because I don't appreciate being doxxed. And I know this man wouldn't appreciate being doxxed either. So that's why I bleeped out. I did it on all the papers, matter of fact. Whatever I was gonna present, I redacted the personal information. Thank you, Miss Sherry, for my coffee. I appreciate you, my love. Okay, let me take my super off of here so y'all can see. Happy birthday to your grandbaby, Miss Angelique. I hope she had a blessed birthday, my love. Like Forney said, my son's teacher has always given me good reports on my son. And as a single mom, that makes me feel good. For real, like it do, y'all, because it's hard enough raising sons. You know what I'm saying? So, especially with this generation, these kids are out of control. So it's a blessing to know when you got good kids and they're representing you the right way when you're not around. That's a blessing. And that's why I spoil my babies too, because I know they do their big one. So I spoil them. I gotta admit that I do spoil my children. Okay, let me put this up on my phone so I can see it better because I am one of the blind bats in real life. Okay, let me stop. Okay, hold on, y'all. All right, so this is the lease agreement. Well, this is the first page of it. It's like about the actual lease agreement is one. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, hold on. 13 pages, y'all. 12. Hold up. Yeah, the actual lease agreement is like 12 or 13 pages. So that's how you know that man ain't playing. He ain't playing about his property, baby. All them pages. Most lease agreements 1 to 3 pages, not 12 to 13. All right, hold up. Let's see. Can y'all see it good? It's small, so I'm a read it to y'all anyways. But all right, so it says, and we're gonna go through what's important because, like I said, I did read this page already. I just didn't read the other ones. Let me see address. Okay, rent 2,800. We do know that rent due on the 1st, 200 after if it's late after the 5th. Security deposit is 2,800. Also, let me see. Let me see. No pets. Okay. Let's go down. So the only thing on here that is important is the 60-day notice. Give landlord no less than 60 days prior notice of the termination. Okay. So we do know that. And she, like I said, she did sign for that. So what else did I miss? Let me see. There was something else I wanted to read. Okay, and it also says number 12, early termination by tenant. It check. It's A, B, and C. C is also checked off where it says, in addition to the rent due, pay 2,800. Hold up. Of the total rent that otherwise would have been owed through the lease date, no later than 30 days. Okay, where's that 8% part? That's the part I'm looking for. Where you can go up 8%. Where is it? Hold up, y'all. That's the part I was looking for. I know my eyes ain't playing tricks on me now. Okay. Okay. And that's right. It might be on another page. 10 days. I don't see it. Unless I accidentally bleeped it out because I made the bleep mark so big. That's probably what it is. Okay, let me take this one down. Let's get to the next one. Is that why we never seen her dogs again? I think them dogs been gone. Like, I think those dogs been gone since the last house, y'all. Because if y'all remember, somebody came out here and said, because it was two dogs, somebody came out here and said that she wouldn't taking care of them dogs either. They would always have poop all over the basement floor and everything behind them dogs, child. So yeah, it's enough when you got six cheering, well, four at the time, let alone adding two dogs. Dogs are like kids. Trust me, I know, because I got my own. Dogs are just like cheering. You got to take care of them just like they some babies, okay? And if you ain't, it don't pay to keep them. It don't pay to have them. Give them to somebody that's gonna really take care of them. And I think that's what she did. Cause no, I don't think she can handle them animals, baby. All right, let's put these other papers up. Oh Lord, this is so much, y'all. This is so much, but it's important. It is important. Okay, hold on. Give me a second because I gotta add them to the screen. It's a lot of them, and we're gonna just skim through it because a lot of this is not unnecessary, but it's a lot. So we're gonna just kind of skim to the important parts of the lease. All right, that's the last one. Let's see if I got any. Oh, and I also got the pictures to show y'all of the place. Okay, so y'all can determine for yourselves how y'all think the place actually look. This is the now. It ain't no doxing, child, because she's no longer staying there. And also, these pictures came from off of the internet. Okay, they are on the internet. So yeah, let me just put that disclaimer out there. These are internet pictures because he is trying to release the property. So of course, he posted pictures of the inside to do that. All right, let me pull the first part up for the second part. That was the first part I just went over. All right, let's go here. And we're going to kind of skim through it, y'all. Ooh. Hey. Trying to center it. Hold up. Is it centered? I want y'all to be able to see it. Let's see. Okay. I know y'all gotta be able to see that. She's so crazy in her mind. She probably thought the dog's doo doo and then eat it. Girl, y'all crazy. Oh Lord. You say I wonder what happened to the puppy La True Boy La La. That's a good question. That dog probably been gone. Cause I don't know. I forgot how it wasn't it like a little white dog or something? I don't even remember, y'all. That dog probably been gone. So okay, let's start with corresponding paragraphs. We're gonna start with number one, which is agreement to lease. And it says, ooh, bear with me, y'all, because this is a lot and it's small. I'm gonna try to get through it fast. It says the parties agree to enter into this lease for the premises, which may be further described in Exhibit A. The premises may be a part of a larger property. If so, tenant is Laonia shall have the right to use the common areas of the property subject to A, all rules, regulations, and covenants applicable thereto, and B, the common areas being reduced, modified, altered, or being made subject to further use restrictions adopted by landlord. In its sole discretion or any community association responsible for the same, while tenant may use and enjoy the premises to the fullest extent permitted in this lease, no estate or permanent legal interest in the premises being transferred or conveyed by landlord to tenant herein. Landlord shall have the right to assign this lease to a subsequent owner of the premises. And they talk basically meaning that she can utilize once you own the unit, you can utilize everything that comes with it. They had a pool, they had a tennis court, it was something else, like a little playground. I did see that. So, it had all those little amenities, which was really nice. Imagine, leasing a place and they got all those amenities for you and your kids to enjoy. Playground, full pool, tennis court. Yeah, it was not about 5 minutes away from Costco. Like, that's good. That's good to me. But you could tell by this lease that man wasn't playing. Like, he really put the hammer down when it comes to his stuff. And the reason why I'm reading this, y'all, is because they making it seem like Laonia had so many issues with the townhouse, like, with leaking and all kind of other stuff. Not saying that she didn't, but none of that was submitted with the court paperwork. Why are we putting that out here? None of that is in that paperwork. I just don't understand it. Why? Like, let her take her lick. Let her take her lick. If she wrong, she wrong. This is a grown ass woman with cheering of her own. Why are we enabling her? And let me say this also, because I don't be watching these people, y'all, but sometimes stuff get back to me through people that I'm close with and stuff like that, right? So, one of the things that I was told was that people be saying like, why is this important to her? Why they talking about her? The fact that we gotta keep reiterating this is crazy. This girl is a public figure. We do content on her. The LaTruth saga was started back in 2022. The LaTruth saga is consistent of LaTruth, Laonia, Janelle, Sleepy, Footmeats, DW, and all other surrounding parties. Amira, Missy, whoever you want to add into it that been in the saga is a part of the saga. So to say why we talking about her or why it's not so much as if it's important to us. We do content on it. How can y'all go in somebody, and I ain't talking about y'all, my supporters. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the people who be saying stuff like this. How can y'all fix y'all mouth to go in somebody else's comments and say, why is this important to them? Why they talking about her? Why they don't just leave her alone when y'all literally listening to somebody who talks about all the other parties, including LaTruth, including Miss Season, including Amira, including all else, whoever is involved. What makes it any different? Like, that's the part I don't understand. So y'all can hear about LaTruth 24/7, but our supporters can't hear about Laonia for 2 hours because I don't go live all day long. I'm confused. Like, make it make sense, y'all. Like, these are all parties that are a part of the LaTruth saga. And what they fail to realize, or what they keep forgetting, is had Laonia not brought her marital business to the internet in October, this wouldn't even be a discussion right now. This is all a part of the domino effect of her karma. LaTrue didn't bring his marital problems to the internet. She did. And it's a lot of things that took place in the saga that added extra effect to it, like the framing of LaTrue with R8 with Janelle Bruce. That's what brought Janelle into the fold, and plus the part that he played with antagonizing that man with his child and this and that. Because if I could recall, before that happened, nobody was really doing content on Janelle. Like we did a little here and there because people was comparing the two. They kept trying to compare Janelle to LaTrue and this and that. So, you know, a little content was done based on that. But nobody started dragging him until people found out that he was actually abusing her behind the scenes. That's when he started getting drugged and when he started using RH's child. So make that make sense for me. Like, no, y'all don't get to pick and choose what people talk about over here, and then y'all get free range to discuss whatever y'all want on y'all end. That's crazy. Let people do their content. Mind the business that pays you, okay? Like, I just don't get it. These people are so messy. And when I say messy, I'm talking about like bone carrying, watching people just to be watching other content creators just to go in other content creators' chats to say what they talking about on their platform. Why is that necessary? Enjoy and speculate on who you enjoy. That's it. The YouTube, the sector would run so much more smoothly if people would do that. It's the nerve for me. It's the audacity to try to tell some bloggers what they can speak on, but the ones y'all favor can talk about whatever they want. What? That's not how it go. That's not how it go. And it be the one saying, oh, y'all need to mind y'all business. Why is that y'all business? If y'all ain't learned that this is the internet by now, everybody is in somebody's business on the internet. Duh. Everybody that's being talked about on the internet is a person with their own business. If people talking about Krishan, they in their business. If they talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z, they're in their business. These people ain't no different. It's all up to you based on what you put out there that's a part of your business that's going to get discussed. Those people hold the power on what gets discussed on the internet. To be honest, you got some people that do if they put out their business intentionally just to be relevant. I just don't get it, y'all. Like, and that's another thing. My content will never, ever revolve around another blogger's content. Why does it matter what I'm speaking on my platform to you? Like, I just don't get it. I would never run my platform like that. Because at some point, if that person stops going live, you won't have no content. If your content is consistent with another blogger's content or bloggers, if they stop, you won't have a platform. You won't have no content. Y'all don't ever see me on my platform doing content based off of what another blogger is doing content on. That is crazy to me. As if this is not a job. Can't pick and choose when y'all want to call it a profession. No, this is a job for some. Some people take it very serious. I'm one of those people. Ooh, child. Exactly. You don't have to, but that really me. I just should have known Michelle was finna say you ain't finna get me in trouble. But we all know, whatever you put on the internet is considered content for the bloggers. Facts. Like, facts. You got classes. So thank you, Erica. Thank you, my love. Don't none of us go across the street and get in a comments and tell that lady to leave Robert alone. No, do what you want to do. We don't care. Nobody paying you attention but your support. That, thank you for that comment, because that's my thing also. Y'all have never, ever heard or seen me go in anybody's comments telling them to stop talking about who they talking about. I don't even say that on my platform because at the end of the day, we all got a job to do, especially if you take this serious. I support the truth, but I'm not a pit bull for him. I'm not personally invested in him. I'm not about to go out my way to try to drag, insult, or start beef with everybody who don't like him. That's not my business. I support him based on how I support him. But I didn't come to the internet for that. You're going to have it really, really hard if you start becoming personally invested with all of your content. We ain't doing that over here. We ain't doing that. I'll support him how I support him. But y'all, that's like you trying to take somebody's voice away from them or how they feel away from them. If you don't like the truth, that's on your body. That's on you. That's not my business. And it should be mutual when it comes to LaOnya. If we don't support her over here, that's our business. Why do people have to be drugged, insulted, called out of their names, all of that just because they don't support somebody that you support and don't speak highly of them, don't enable their behavior? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Right? We do not care. That's what they do. Do you, boo? We don't care. Oh, I know y'all don't care. But I feel like certain things have to be said because it be getting misconstrued. Like, no, the same respect you want on your platform, I want on mine. I want to be able to talk about what I want to talk about too. Just like you want to talk about, because I see this too often. I see, the stuff gets sent to me, the community wall posts or, certain little clips here and there. If you and AB so hypocritical, like if you feel like you should be able to talk about what you want on your platform, why the other bloggers can't do the same? Why the other bloggers gotta get harassed for trying to get the same respect you trying to get? That's crazy. Cater to your supporters and your supporters only, because that's the ones that matter anyway. I'm not over here speaking to another blogger supporters. I'm only worried about y'all. Long as we good, that's all that matters to me. I could care less who don't like me and feel a certain way about me, or they calling me live pop or whatever. That's so funny to me. But I don't care about that because it's not my supporters calling me that. If you don't like me, that's not my business. I'm still gonna sleep with the drawers off because I sleep, y'all. I like to be cool. I like to be comfortable on them good smelling sheets, baby. Okay? I'm still gonna sleep good at night. I don't care about who don't like me on here. I don't have a problem with nobody, not even LaOnya. I just do content on her. I don't like how she move. I don't like the things she's done, but I don't have a personal issue with her as if she's done something to me. And I think they get that misconstrued because we do content on her. They make it personal, and it's not. It's not. It's really not, y'all. If I had the time to be a full-time blogger, I would be doing content on multiple people, not just her. But I don't have that type of time yet. Now, don't get me wrong. If I get to a point where I'm really making money on here to where it can pay all my bills, then that's different. But this is a side hustle. This is a side hustle, and it's fun. It really is fun. And you connect with a lot of people all across the world. I enjoy speaking with y'all. A lot of y'all, I look at y'all like family, the ones who genuinely support me. So, it's a different feeling. I tell you all the time, we got our own little personal, I ain't gonna say Young and the Restless, but our own little personal soap opera. We're gonna say black opera over here. Okay? That's what we got, y'all. But these people are weird. Like, I don't understand it. I just don't get it. This is why I say don't go back and forth with nobody, because a lot people can see what be really going on. When one person is quiet, A fool don't like arguing by themselves. And if you arguing in front of an audience, people gonna know who the fool is. Okay, especially if you doing it by yourself, and if you know trying to drag somebody every day who don't go back and forth with you. So I don't understand it. Like, maybe I never will, child, but it's all good. We still gonna do what we do over here, baby. We still gonna do what we do over here. And as far as this situation, I'm gonna say this for the last time. I have no reason to lie on anybody. This situation wasn't even that deep when it came to this landlord tenant situation. Nobody had to lie because it was straight to the point. Like the lease agreement is straight to the point. What was submitted is what was submitted. I have all the papers that were submitted for this particular situation. It wasn't no pictures of no leaks. It wasn't no text messages involving no leaks. It wasn't none of that. She didn't submit any of that. And I even broke down the exhibit her dispossessory response with exhibit A and B of what she did submit. So I find that very funny that if pictures were submitted, why wasn't that why wasn't that included in her exhibit list with her answer? That don't even make sense. She would have said refer to such and such. No, because she didn't submit that. That girl didn't submit that. Now, may she have pictures or something like that? Yes, it's a possibility that she do have pictures. Nobody's negating the fact that if the hall was leaking or if the ceiling was leaking, nobody's denying that. It's a possibility that it was. But she didn't submit it. She didn't submit it with this court situation. Can she still submit it for the court date? Yes, because the actual trial on October 9th is open for evidence, but it has to be submitted in printout form. It can't be on your phone, on a laptop, whatever. Per the court document, it says that all evidence for the trial has to be submitted in printout form. But the only thing that was submitted so far, thus far, as far as evidence, is those text messages. She submitted 16 text messages. And I read every last one of them to y'all. Everything else was pretty much what the landlord submitted. And then you had her dispossessory response. It was like 2 pages, and that's it. That's all she submitted on her end. Everything else was from the landlord. And then you had a couple papers from the courts that was added on, like when they served her and all of that. But no, y'all, it wasn't. And why would I withhold that from y'all? Why would I not show y'all pictures of damages in her home? How is that going to affect me? But what I will say is I challenge anybody who was told that there were pictures. I challenge y'all to challenge y'all source to show y'all those pictures. Because like I said, if there are some, then LaOnya has them, but she didn't submit them to the court. Okay? That's on period. She didn't submit them to the courts, baby. And as far as her being liable, because that's another thing that keeps being brought up for some reason, y'all. Her being liable for the leak. I don't know why people not getting this part. The only reason why she's responsible is if she didn't. Well, the only reason why she'll be responsible, let me say this, because now it'll be left up to the judge to hold her liable for the roof or hall leak, whatever it is, right? Is if she didn't or don't have any communication back and forth telling her landlord that we have this issue and it needs to be addressed, needs to be fixed. Other than that, if she doesn't have any communicating proof, which she did not submit, she can bring it to court on the 9th, but she didn't submit it with the paperwork that was submitted on September 9th. Okay? So if she don't have that proof, she will be held liable in court for that leak. Because it's up to, and I'm about to get into that with this lease, because the lease states that, and she signed it. It states that if she did not she directly, but any tenant, that's occupying the unit, owning the unit, whatever, if you see an issue and you do not report it in a timely fashion to the landlord so that the issue can be addressed or fixed before it gets out of hand, you will be held liable. That's straight to the point. Like, I don't understand why people keep saying, how is she responsible for the leak? Like, that's how. Put yourself in that landlord's position. If you know you gave somebody a brand new unit, right? Now, you can't control the rain. You can't control a thunderstorm, a rainstorm, a lightning storm. You can't control none of that. That's true. That's realistic. But if you are owning the unit at a certain point in time for an 18-month time span, that's a long time for damages to worsen if not reported. So put yourself in that landlord's shoes. It could have been, okay, let's say she let me just say this. Let's give an example. Scenario. Let's say she noticed a leak in the hall and it started, causing mold and mildew or whatever on the ceiling, right? And she told the landlord the same week. Now, that could have been something that was fixable that could have cost maybe $100 to $300. I'm just giving an estimate. But let's say she seen it and she waited 6 months to say. Now the issue is then spread, because we all know mold and mildew spreads. We all know leaks when something is leaking, especially in the interior of the home, or like near the foundation of the home, the insulation. We know that it can spread over time. The leak can worsen over time. So if you don't report it, this is an issue that can, it can affect other things over time also. And now the cost can literally go up from $100 to $300 to maybe $1,500 to $2,000. That's where the liability comes in it for the ones in the back who not getting that part. No, she can't control the weather. No, she can't control if it start leaking in the house. But what she can control is her communicating the issue to the person who's owning the home, but not actually in there. The landlord doesn't live there. So he won't know if there's an issue inside the home unless the tenant notifies him. Not saying that, well, I am saying she didn't, because she didn't provide that proof. Now, once the October 9th get here, and if she did provide the proof, I'll let y'all know, because I don't have a dog in this fight. I have no reason to withhold information. I'm not that personally invested to where I need to cover up for the landlord to make LaOnya look bad. Like, what? Why? This ain't that over here. If you know your platform and got to a point where you start being deceptive on account of a complete stranger on the internet, because regardless if you support that person or not, they are a stranger to you in real life. You just support them on the internet. But if you get to the point to where you have to literally sacrifice your integrity, your morality, your genuity, just to make this person look good, that's not a good look at all. At all. We ain't doing that over here. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. And I said throughout me covering just this situation that if it benefits LaOnya, I'm going to let y'all know. If it benefits the landlord, I'm going to let y'all know. And I clearly stated the only reason why I was leaning more so towards the landlord, still even now, is because he has that contractual agreement that she signed. And I read it. I didn't just say that because, I don't support LaOnya. No. If it would have been, if I felt like she got railroaded by this landlord, I would have said that. How would that affect me? I'd have said, no, y'all, he's one of them. He's one of them janky landlords. and he railroading her. He just trying to rob her, scam out her money. I would have said that if that's what it was, because it wouldn't have affected me in no kind of way. But this ain't that. We all read the text messages. Most of us seen the actual leaks. And that's why I'm showing y'all now too, so y'all can see for yourself. Now, if you support LaOnya and you see this lease and you still believe otherwise, then child, you got an issue. Or somebody can just tell you anything, even if you see the paperwork for yourself. You need to reevaluate your time on the internet as a grown person. As a grown person, because I'm not over here trying to manipulate my supporters. I want them to think for themselves, logically and realistically. No, we ain't doing that over here, baby. We are all our own adults over here. And that's why I always say, go see for yourselves. If I could get it, I'll provide it for y'all. But other than that, because everybody looks at things differently, everybody's perspective will be different. Even if y'all support me, y'all might view something totally different, and that's y'all right. I'm not here to argue perspectives. We grown women talking like grown women. And you can agree to disagree and you won't lose no sleep, baby. But they can't do that on here. They can't agree to disagree on you. It's all about who can win. Oh, she won. Oh, she won in this. What? Ain't nobody in no competition with no LaOnya or them. All right, so let's get back into it. And I shout out to everybody that's coming in, y'all. I had to do my little rant. Y'all know how I get with the little rants. Every blue moon child gotta say my little one too, because I just be like, what the hell? I'm probably one of the youngest ones on here. I'm 37. I'll be 38 in February. And look how I conduct myself. No shade. No shade. And because my mama be watching my channel sometimes. Like she'll pop in. She don't say nothing in the chat, but she'll pop in every blue moon, just to see what I'm talking about. And I wish I would be on here embarrassing her, because I know how my mama moves in real life. Like my mama is a classy one. She don't do all of that. I am a product of her. Okay. So no, we ain't doing none of that. I ain't finna be on here showing my ass and then my mama be calling me, what you doing over there on YouTube? Why you at? No. Oh Lord, we ain't finna be embarrassing her. My mama don't play. I'm still scared of my mama. Still scared of her, baby. She don't play. And she don't like the disrespect either. So no, we ain't doing that. All right, let me see. Where we at, y'all? Okay, so term and possession number 2. It says if landlord is unable to deliver possession of premises on a start date, rent shall be abated on a daily basis until possession is granted. Neither owner, landlord, or broker shall be liable for any delay in the delivery of possession of premises to tenant. And y'all, I do read kind of fast. So if y'all hear me reading fast, it's because I'm trying to get through it fast. But if it's something I feel like is important, I'm going to slow down and break it down. But other than that, I'm going to read it fast. Hey, I'm Chosen. Love you. You said I left Facebook because my mama was telling me what I could and couldn't post. Listen. Now she don't do that with me, but if it's something that's crazy, that look crazy, or disrespectful in it, she gonna say something. She gonna say something. She will call me because she don't like stuff like that. I'm from Louisiana. They don't do the disrespect and the elders and all of that. That's why I don't go back and forth with people on here, because no, I ain't scared of nobody on the internet, but I'm scared of my mama though. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We're gonna conduct ourselves with some sense. I ain't even gonna say class. We're gonna say sense. Period. So I rather, no, we ain't doing that. Okay, so and like I said, no shade to nobody, because everybody is different. And when I say stuff like that, I don't want people to take it as a subliminal or anything like that, because that's not my intentions. I don't do stuff like that. That's why y'all never see me posting stuff like that on my community wall or anything like that. When I post stuff, it's really general posts. Like it really be general posts. But everybody is different, and I won't judge nobody just because they feel like they gotta respond. If that's how you was brought up, if that's how you coming, that's how you coming. Because everybody don't have the same type of self-control. Everybody don't have that. And that's not a problem, you know? All right. So it says rent. Number 3, tenant shall pay rent. Well, I don't need to read that one. Okay, because we do know it's by the 1st. And they got until the 5th. So I really don't need to read that part. Security deposits, because it's so much, y'all. So I'm gonna try to get through it without reading all of it, because we'll be on here for hours if I was to read all of this, child. Make sure y'all hitting the like button. We got 358 in the building. Y'all hit the like button for Pac. Support my little goal if y'all can, and hype me up also. All right, let's see. Should I do security deposit? We're gonna do some of security deposit. So it says A, move in. Prior to tenant tendering a security deposit, landlord shall provide tenant with a comprehensive list of any existing damages to premises prior to taking occupancy. So that means that the landlord was supposed to provide her with any damages that, you know, the unit had prior to her moving in. That way she can know. And that way she'll have that and won't be responsible for those issues once she moves in and it escalates or anything, you know, happens in the process of her being there. So it also says, prior to taking occupancy, tenant will be given the right to inspect premises to ascertain the accuracy of the form. Both landlord and tenant shall sign the form, and tenant shall be entitled to retain a copy of the form. Tenant acknowledges that tenant has carefully inspected the premises, is familiar with the same, and that the premises are in a good and habitable condition. And that's my thing, because it brings me back to that leak situation, y'all. And this is why you are supposed to really, really, anytime you moving anywhere, you need to make sure it's a good spot. You need to make sure everything is in order. Like, that's one of the main things I would ask for, is if, you know, it has any flooding or any damage from the weather, because homes, you know, they have spots where it can leak in your home, and you don't want that type of issue. Trust me. So it says, hold on, this deposit of the same. Okay, we're gonna go to return. We're gonna go to D, return of security deposit. The balance. Hold on, let me make it bigger on my end. The balance of the security deposit to which tenant is entitled shall be returned to tenant by holder within 30 days after the termination of this agreement or the surrender of premises by tenant. We know she ain't getting her security deposit back. We already know that. Whichever occurs last hereinafter due date, provided that tenant meets the following requirements. 1, the full term of the lease has expired. Okay. Additional, wait, hold on. Oh, Lord, it's so small. Okay, number 2, tenant has given the required written notice to vacate. We know she didn't do that. 3, the premises is clean and free of dirt, trash, and debris. We know she didn't do that. 4, all rents, additional rent, fees, and charges have been paid in full. We know she didn't do that because it's September. If counted, because, you know, it'll be up to the judge if he's going to count that September rent, y'all. Number 5, there is no damage to the premises or the property except for normal wear and tear or damage noted at the commencement of the lease in the move-in, move-out condition reports signed by landlord and tenant. And 6, all keys to the premises and to recreational or other facilities, access card, gate openers, and garage openers have been returned to landlord or manager. Let me say this, y'all, because when I read the part about, you know, basic wear and tear, right? One of the things that I did see, and I'm kind of jumping ahead, y'all gonna see that too once I get to that page of the lease, is that the landlord did not allow nails, screws, and some other stuff. He only allowed like basic picture hanging hooks and stuff like that. Because if you know, anytime you have what do they call it, y'all? What do they call those? Sheetrock. Anytime you're in a place where there's sheetrock, not saying that that place was, but I'm pretty sure because most homes have sheetrock, right? Which is a very thin type of material that they use for like wall building and stuff like that, right? And most of these type of homes, like trailers, townhouses, apartments, are made with sheetrock, right? So that's probably one of the reasons why he didn't allow screws, nails, stuff like that. If y'all remember from LaOnya doing live streams and stuff, she had a whole lot of pictures of herself on the walls. Okay. Matter of fact, oh, y'all know what? I got the video. Y'all remember the video when she went live on YouTube and she had her hair was all over her head and she had like some stuff in her face? That was the same video, go lick some windows, when she was, and in the same video she had her son talking about Queen Step. I got those clips. So if we don't go too far over time, once I finish with this lease, I'm gonna try to hurry up and upload them, and I'll show y'all that way y'all can see everything she had on them walls and stuff like that. Okay, because he didn't. Now we don't know if she used nails, screws, whatever to hang up those pictures, but we do know she had a lot of stuff hung on them walls. She had a whole lot, certificates, all kind of stuff, y'all. All right, so let's see. That's because she ain't read the lease. Nope, she ain't read that lease. Couldn't have. Couldn't have. Let me see. Thank you, Dina, for getting the membership. Well, renewing. Shout out to you, my love. Okay, let me go down. All right, let me see. Hold up, y'all. All right, where we at? Let's see. 334. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Okay, let's see. We did return a security deposit. Okay, let's do deductions from security deposit. It says holders shall have the right to deduct from the security deposit 1, the cost of repairing any damage to premises or property caused by tenant. So we know he's well within his rights for that. Because if y'all remember, he put on that paper that we know she didn't clean up the unit once she left. We do know there are a bunch. We can only go off of what we know so far, y'all. We know she didn't clean it because in the text messages, she was saying this is another thing that was being put out here, that she hired a cleaning service. How did she hire a cleaning service when she turned the power off? She turned off all the utilities, and even in the text messages, she was telling the landlord that she was going to get a cleaning service. She said, I put it on the thumbnail. She was like, oh, my kids got COVID, and that's why I hadn't been back, but I was going to get a cleaning service today, but the power was off. So make it make sense. Cleaning service can't go in there and do anything if there's no water, no lights. How they going to clean without water? So we know she didn't hire a cleaning service. Hence why he added that to the list of damages. Not damages, but the estimates for what he has to go in there and do. He also added $300 for utilities because he had to then put the utilities back on in his name just to get the cleaning services himself, and also to inspect the rest of the home, including the amenities and the appliances, to make sure everything is still running properly. And the crazy part is, y'all, he didn't even get to add that to the court situation. All of that's going to be brought to court on the 9th. So imagine if she messed up the washer and dryer, the stove, the microwave, the disposal, one of the garage keys might not be working or missing. It's a lot. It's a lot that he had. He put every appliance in the home. The refrigerator. We're going to get to all that too. But imagine if some of that stuff is not working. That then gets added to the list of damages. He wasn't able to check that because they ain't had no power. Exactly. Then had the nerve to ask the man, can he turn the lights back on so she can get the cleaning crew? When it's on the lease for her to leave it on until move out inspection is done. And she knows that. Because if she kept referring back to the lease herself, that means she read some of it at least. Now, don't get me wrong, reading and comprehending is two totally different things. But according to her referring back to the lease in some of them text messages, it shows that she did have knowledge of the lease. Okay? The lease, I mean, not lease with a T, lease with a SE at the end. So yeah, like it's a lot that we don't even know yet, that we won't even find out till next month once he assess everything. He still got to assess all of the damages. Okay. So let's finish reading that part. It says, number one, return. We under return of security deposit, y'all. Number two, tenant has given the required written notice to vacate. 3, the premises is clean and free of dirt, trash, and debris. Number 4, all additional rent fees and charges have been paid in full. Oh, let me say this too, because he also added that furniture was left in the home. So that's another thing. How the hell was she even gonna get a cleaning crew in there when they could have still went in there, but the fact that she left furniture in there too, that is so disrespectful. That's like basically saying you do it. Or I'm gonna just leave some of this stuff in here too because I can't get nobody to move it. So I'm gonna leave it in this man's home. That is crazy. It's given she ran off and she left in a hurry. That's what that's given to me. So hold on, let me see. Number 5, there is no damage to the premises or the property except for normal wear and tear or damage noted at the commencement of the lease in the move-in, move-out condition report. And normal wear and tear, let's see. Hold on. Let me Google that. Let's see what normal wear and tear would be, which I can kind of state a few, but let's Google and see. What would be considered normal wear and tear? Oh, hold on. What be considered normal wear and tear? Dang it. Why is not let okay. Wear and tear for a townhouse rental. Okay. So it says normal wear and tear in a townhouse includes gradual expected deterioration from regular use. Okay. Such as minor scuff marks on walls, faded paint, worn carpet in high traffic areas, small nail holes for hanging pictures, appliance wear and tear like worn gaskets. You know, on appliances you'll have, like, let's say you got a flat top stove, you know, like where flat top is where you don't have like the little, like a gas stove, but you know, like a flat top. You know how to get kind of scuffed over time from the pots? Yeah. Where the scuff marks won't come out no matter how much you clean it. Yeah. That's one example. Let's see. Appliance. Okay, I read small nail holes for hanging pictures, appliance wear and tear like worn gaskets, and minor fading or discoloration from sunlight. This is distinguished from tenant caused damage, such as large holes in walls, tears in carpet, or broken fixtures, which are the tenant's responsibility to fix or replace. Okay. Examples of normal wear and tear: paint in walls, minor scuffs, small holes, small nail holes from hanging pictures, slight fading due to sunlight or minor paint chips. Floors, light scratches on hardwood floors, minor wear on carpets, or flattened in higher areas, traffic areas, my bad. Appliances and fixtures, worn out gaskets on a refrigerator, loose but functional plumbing handles, or faded enamel on fixtures. Windows and blinds discolored or faded blinds due to sun exposure. General deterioration, natural fading of paint or wallpaper from sunlight and weathering, or the natural aging of plumbing fixtures. And then they say what is not normal wear and tear, tenant caused damage, large holes or gouges in walls. He did say that some drywall or something needed to be done. Because you can that can happen from moving furniture too, or them kids constantly you know jumping on the sofa or sitting on the sofa a different type of way. And if your sofa is close to the wall, it can cause holes in the wall too. Or even opening doors a certain way if you don't have those little door stopper things. That's another thing that can cause holes in the wall. So it also says large or deep stains on carpets, torn carpets, broken handles or appliance damage caused by misuse, and also unapproved or excessive paint colors. Okay. How to distinguish. Move-in inspection. Document the property's condition with your landlord at the start of the lease, including photos and detailed notes. And if y'all notice, that was in his lease. It had like a form where he had to show her around the place, and if anything had a certain feature to it prior to her moving in, it had to be documented. That way she would be blamed for it once she moved out. Which was like a move-in inspection. He walked in there with her to make sure everything was up to par and she was satisfied. And then that has to be done with any rental. Any rental. Somebody has to, go in there with you so that you can make sure you got to look at it before you move in. You want to see how it looks, and if it's up to par, or if you want to get it, to see if you want to get it. So we know that was done. Thank you here for a good time for getting that membership or renewing, whichever one you did. Shout out to you, my love. Okay. Let me see. Oh, move out inspection. Compare the property's current condition to the initial inspection to identify any differences, and then consider the cause. Is the issue a natural result of daily living and time, wear and tear, or is it from negligence, carelessness, or misuse damage? I even had somebody in my comments that said something about kids, y'all. Now, let me read this comment to y'all. Then we're going to go back to this, because this comment blew me away. I replied to it too, whoever this person is, child. So they said, now after all of that clarity I gave, all of that breaking down, reading word for word, not leaving or adding anything in, this was their comment under my live, y'all. She's not responsible for leaving her lights on at the townhouse. Landlord's supposed to get the lights turned on. Once the tenant move out, just like the tenant have to get the lights in there, name and turn on the light before you move in. That's one of the things they said. Then they said, I have moved out of places at the end of my lease agreement and I didn't give a 60 days notice. I'm sure she paid a deposit plus first month rent or first and last month rent up front. It's not against the law to break a lease agreement. People do it all the time for various reasons. Damages, but who said it was against the law though? Damages usually comes out of the deposit. That's no certain damages. Wear and tear. Okay? That's the damages. Then she said, that's why we pay for deposits. She wasn't served any eviction notice or not paying the rent payment. She left in August and she didn't pay September because she didn't give a 60-day notice. She has to pay for September. I don't think she was wrong about that. Judge looks at her history staying there. What judge y'all know gonna look at just the history of somebody living there? The judge gonna look at the contract, baby. No judge care about no damn history. That listen, y'all, when I was reading this, I ain't done. And then I'm gonna read y'all what I said. Because y'all know I rarely respond to comments, especially ones that are ridiculous. So so then she said, hold on. Judge looks at her history staying there. paying her rent payments for the time of the lease agreement. She didn't miss any payments. So basically, if she got holes in the wall, torn carpet, not saying she do, right? This is just an example. If she left furniture, trash, all of this, destroyed his appliances, the judge just gonna look at to make sure she was paying the rent every month and be okay with it. Because that's what she's saying basically right here. The judge gonna just look at her the time she was there and making sure she paid her rent on time. What? Okay, let me finish. Hold on, where we stopped. Then they said she didn't miss any payments. She have children. Look the excuse she made for the kids. She have children. Some things get damaged with children, wear and tear. Normal. I have seen worse, horrible conditions when people move out of apartments or townhouse. But you didn't see the conditions, ma'am. No pictures were provided. So how can you even make this is why I feel this was definitely a fake page, y'all, because there's an emoji for the profile picture, one, and they only have a couple comments on my page. But this was definitely a fake profile. But think about what they saying. They definitely in defense of her. And a lot of times, this is how they try to gaslight and manipulate me. After they'll say something completely in LaOnya's favor, at the end of their comment, they'll say, oh, and no, I don't support her or LaTruth. They always say that. Hold on. So they said, let me see, hold up. I have seen worse horrible conditions when people move out of apartments or townhouse and houses, especially with a lot of kids. If she doesn't have any evictions, she can get another apartment or a rental place with no problem. It's not a crime to move out of the townhouse because she didn't give a 60-day notice for real, for real. And I'm not a Bree supporter or or her follower. Hold on, y'all. All right, she said, hold up. Let me see where I stopped. She said, oh, and I'm not a Bree supporter or follow her. Just saying from a landlord point of view. If you a landlord, you definitely ain't a good one after this. Because baby, nothing of what you posted screams landlord. Okay? Ain't no way you a landlord and you just posted this load of crap. Okay? So hold on. Then she said, someone on Section 8 is leasing my place. That explains it. One more month. This ain't giving Section 8. Okay? This is something totally different. One more month. They got to go, not renewing the lease agreement for the tenant, and the place is horrible. They don't get a deposit back. Y'all. Exactly, Basha. They always say that when they trying to manipulate me. Like they'll literally say everything in LaOnya favor and everything not in LaTruth's favor, and then say, and I'm not a Bree supporter either. I'll be like, well, you could have fooled me, baby, because you sure was giving a supporter. So this was y'all know I rarely respond to comments. I do weed out the troll comments because a lot of times people subscribe to me and they won't comment so they don't get blocked. But what they'll do is they'll wait a long time, and then when they see one of y'all comments, they'll go reply under y'all stuff because they know it's harder for me to see those comments. But every so often, because y'all, I get a lot of comments. So that's why if y'all don't see me replying, I try to reply to the first few, but I get a lot of comments, y'all. It's a lot. So I'll never be able to reply to everybody. But I do check them here and there, and then the trolls will be under y'all comments and I get rid of them like that. But this was my response. I had to respond back to this one. So I said, then I had to keep erasing because I didn't want to be rude. I'm like, I don't want to be nasty. So let me just not put this. So I said, after reading all of what you type, I'm convinced you didn't really watch my live first, or you wasn't really listening to what I was saying while watching it, babe. Unfortunately, a lot of what you wrote is irrelevant to her particular situation because Not all lease contracts are the same. And just because other people have broken their lease contracts and not give 60-day notices to their landlords doesn't mean that this particular landlord won't hold her to the contract that she signed off on, which is literally what he's doing by taking her to court. Also, I never once stated that it was illegal to break a lease agreement. And I literally read the paperwork word for word. So my breakdown should have given you some sort of clarity to this specific situation. Realistically, we can't go off of other people's lease situations and hold it as fact to what will be the outcome in this one. And of course, kids cause damages sometimes, but unfortunately, that doesn't clear us from the financial depths of those damages. And due to the fact that no pictures were submitted yet, in all caps, to support the claims of those damages, only estimates, therefore, we can only go off of what the landlord stated until proven otherwise, my love. And lastly, we know she's not responsible for lights once she is completely moved out, but her lease was up on the 31st and she moved out on the 12th and they were turned off. And per her lease contract, the lights were to remain in her name and turned on until the final walkthrough to assess the damages was completed. She signed on the dotted line, and this is why I kept stressing in my live the importance of reading and understanding what you are signing to make sure you're protected. She never replied back to me, y'all. This is why I don't be commenting, because I feel like I be doing too much. Okay? Clocking it real quick. Like, come on now. Based on her comments, it's like she watched my live and didn't listen to it. Like she was watching it, but she was listening to another video. I don't know. That's what it gave to me, because everything she said was irrelevant to my live. Like if you actually listen to the first live I did, I read everything word for word and just gave my opinion. She went against everything I said. Well, she didn't listen at all because she was talking about stuff that wasn't even relevant to this situation. Just because you might possibly be a landlord to somebody that's on Section 8 does not mean that this situation will go like that. The man is taking her to court, meaning he don't play about his units. So your situation is totally different. You can't base the outcome of this situation as fact based on what you had happen or what somebody else did. Oh, you know, everybody don't always give a 60-day notice. So clearly he's holding her to her contract, which is why he's taking her to court. And I was waiting for them to reply back. They never said nothing, y'all, which is typically what happens once I respond. I literally, anytime I respond to something, you might get a couple people here and there that'll try to go back and forth. But once I feel like it's getting ridiculous and they just intentionally not trying to get it, I stop responding or block them because I feel like you're trying to manipulate me or play games. Because some stuff don't even be that deep. Like I feel like I was being fair in that first live. When I did that first live, I wasn't saying nothing bad about her. I was reading it for what it was. So I just don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. Let me see. Thank you, Miss Norma. Thank you for that cash app blessing. You said for always on point. Love you, Pop. I love you too, my girl. Thank you for that blessing. I appreciate you. Okay, let's get back to this, y'all. Hold on. Let me go back up. Which page we on? Okay, we still on the first page, child. All right, we got a little time. We got a little time. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all, and support my goal if y'all can. I need to warm my coffee. It's cold. And my baby then left. He went to a night party, child. He was all dressed up in his all black with his little curly hair. I said, okay, look at you. Look at my seed, child. Didn't want me to take pictures, but I snuck a few. He do not like take. He's so handsome, y'all. He do not like taking pictures. Ham love pictures. My boys, it's like pulling teeth. All right. Let me see where we at. Okay. We read deductions from security deposit. Now we on F, which is move out statement. This is also important. This part says, and now we all the way. Oh, hold on, y'all. I didn't even scroll up. Y'all probably like, what is Spock reading? Okay. We at the bottom. We on F, which is the very last statement, y'all. At the bottom. What you say? You also stated clearly that she was not being evicted. You actually cleared that up from the go. Exactly. That's why I'm like, why, bruh? Why was that narrative even being painted? I never said that. I put broken on the lease on the thumbnail. I never said that girl was being evicted. But what I can say is, if somebody did say that, it didn't come from me, but if somebody did say that, they're not technically wrong because the landlord presented it in court as if he evicted her. Because if you look in the text messages, he told her to be out by the 31st. That's technically an eviction, right? If your landlord told you you can no longer stay there, what do you call that? Oh, you need to be out by the 31st. What is that? So if we want to be technical, then, but I never said that because I don't look at it as an eviction. I look at it kind of more so as they had a mutual agreement. Okay. She was like, I can't pay the 31. So, it is what it is, even though she still wanted to stay there. But he was like, no, you need to be gone by the 31st. And he was like, you should have told me before. That's what made me feel like they had a phone conversation also, y'all. Either they had a phone conversation or it's some text message that she didn't show. And that the reason why I feel like that happened is because of reading between the lines of the messages that were given. Like when he said, you should have told me, hold on, let me go to it so I can read it verbatim. That's what made me feel like something was missing. They definitely talked about this because she said it in the message. They talked about it back in May. And when he said, hold on, hold up. He said, where is that message? Hold up, y'all. That's not it. Where is that doggone message? Okay, not that one. Your responsibility. Not accept. Okay, one of the ones where he said, but you earlier agreed to renew. Now you are orally changing. So that was one of the messages that he said that didn't have no context because she only submitted certain messages to the courts. Because where did she orally where did she agree to renew earlier? So that was one. And it was another one where he said, it's my bad. I trusted you and did not initiate the contract, but you have put me in trouble. And then he said, whatever it is, you should have told me. So that right there kind of told me also that he knew she had like some type of issues going on, whether it be financial or whatever. And it's given that they done talked about some stuff before. Even though she kind of switched her tone up because she knew what she was doing. This was definitely calculated, y'all. This was calculated. I told y'all before, I felt like she been moved out that man's stuff. And I think she just was holding on to it just in case her and Janelle didn't work out. But she had been staying at Janelle house damn near every day. So she had been not living in her spot. She would only go there I'm guessing when her and Janelle was beefing, she'll go there and go do videos or go live to try to confuse the internet and this and that. But I personally feel like she held on to her place just in the case that her and Janelle broke up. She'll have somewhere to go, and then she'll go back to his spot when they're on good terms. And she stayed there. But she knew that, eventually it was going to come time for her to have to move out of that man's stuff. Thought it was another one. Oh, he said, all I requested is tell me up front. Then I could have planned. Now with my daughter, college admission is very difficult to manage. So clearly they had conversations about her telling him prior. Not only was it in the contract, but you can tell by his responses that he had told her, just give me a heads up. That's why he said, all I requested is that you tell me up front. So that let me know that conversations were definitely had because you can tell he started like he was in his feelings because he felt like they had a good relationship, good type of landlord tenant tenure, 18 months tenure, like he said. He was being proper with it. Like I felt like we had, over the 18 months, it was a good tenure. Okay, let me see. Let's go back to where we was. But yeah, she definitely left some stuff out. One in particular being on the very first text message she submitted, where she was responding to him by saying, I can't do 3100. She didn't show what he said or when he sent the message. That was important also. Okay. All right. So we on move out statement, y'all, which is the last part. It says holder, which is the landlord, shall provide tenant with a statement, move out statement, listing the exact reasons for the retention of the security deposit or for any deductions therefrom. If the reason for the retention is based upon damages to the premises, such damages shall be specifically listed in the move out statement. The move out statement shall be prepared within 3 banking days or business days after the termination of occupancy. If the tenant terminates occupancy without notifying the holder, the landlord, holder may make a final inspection within a reasonable time after discovering the termination of occupancy. Tenant shall have the right to inspect premises within 5 banking days after the termination of occupancy in order to ascertain the accuracy of the move out statement. If the tenant agrees with the move out statement, tenant shall sign the same. If tenant refuses to sign the move out statement, tenant shall specify in writing the items on the move out statement with which tenant disagrees within 3 banking days. For all purposes herein, a banking day shall not include Saturday, Sunday, or federal holidays, which is equivalent to business days, right? So we know that wasn't done because, for one, she didn't follow through. She turned the utilities off and the power. So the process couldn't have been completed because she wasn't following the lease, not the landlord. She wasn't. That's why I said they can argue September all they want. Oh, she ain't entitled to September. It wasn't on the lease. She's only entitled to what the lease. Okay, they can argue September all they want, but they can't argue August. They can't argue August because move out was August 31st. That was the last date on her lease. She left on the 12th. And we don't even know she left on the 12th. There's a possibility she could have left before the 12th, but we don't know that either, right? So we can only go off of the 12th. She left on the 12th and she turned off the power and the utilities on the 12th. She herself said in the text messages that she had utility and power scheduled for cut off on her move out date. Her move out date was the 12th. It was supposed to be the 31st. Talking about, I don't know why they cut it off early because you moved out. Yeah, you moved out and you moved to another place and you didn't want to be responsible for the utilities at that spot anymore. So technically she did know. She was playing in that man's face. That's what it was. She was playing all up and through his face. Okay. But you could tell he wasn't no little pushover. It wasn't giving pushover. All right. That's it for that one, y'all. Let's get to another good one. Let me take that one down. Let's get to another good one. Oh, I think I want to dye my hair again. I think I want to go back with that ginger and that red, but my beautician won't let me, y'all. She like, no, you're not dyeing your hair no time soon. Okay, let me see. Which part are we on? B corresponding paragraphs. Okay, FGA. Okay, so let's go to the next one. This is the next one. Is it? Yeah, it's the next one. All right, let me see if I can make it bigger. Hey, trying to center it. I guess just, is it centered? It's centered and no. I guess this is as centered as it's gonna get, child. Okay, but I'ma still read it. So, wonder what size this place is. I could tell you. Hold on. I could tell y'all what size it is, and I'ma also tell y'all. I'm gonna show y'all the pictures too. I'm gonna show y'all the pictures. Oh, I need to go warm my coffee, y'all. I'm cold. Okay, let me see. You said what size? You mean like square footage? I can tell y'all that. Hold up. Drifted on a memory. Ain't no place I'd rather be than with you. Okay, so it is. Let's see. It says on the listing 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and it says square foot 2,365 square foot, which is fairly a nice size for a townhouse, y'all. 2,365 square foot is not bad for a townhouse. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and I think that they okay. Let me see, because I was looking at the what they call the picture of the overall unit, whatever that's called, and the actual pictures. I think they counted that loft as a bedroom because the loft could have been turned into a separate bedroom, right? They have furniture in it, like on the the blueprint picture. I think that's what it's called. It has like furniture in it, but it can be also made into a bedroom. So that would be considered the fourth bedroom, that loft. But Laonia didn't utilize it as a fourth bedroom, and she should have because she had all them cheering in there. Why would you make your kids share a bedroom when you had an extra room, the loft, that you didn't even utilize just for bragging purposes? Oh, I got a big master. Yeah, but I mean, why not use it to make your kids more comfortable if you can when you can? Instead of keeping it for no reason because it's a loft. Like it ain't nothing but a little extra add on room. It ain't like she used it. She could have just, gave it to Momo. She could have put Momo right there. But hey, who am I? You know. But yeah, once we get to the house, the townhouse, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all more stuff about that. Let's try to get through this lease real quick. Her new spot pop. Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know where she moved, y'all. Even if I did, I wouldn't say because I'm not doxing nobody. But I don't know, to be honest. I don't know nothing about where she's moved to now or anything like that. The only reason why I'm even discussing this is because she's no longer there. I would never put her and them kids in danger. I would never do that. I'm a mom. I would never do that. Regardless of my disdain towards her and the way she act, I would never put her and her children in danger. I'll move like that, baby. We don't do that, but I'm gonna show y'all once we get to that part. But I don't know anything about if she, where she moved to or anything like that. Okay, so let me see. G, delivery of move out statement. We can do that one. It says holder, which is the landlord, shall send the move out statement along with the balance, if any, of the security deposit to tenant on or before it is due under state law. The move out statement shall either be delivered personally to tenant or mailed to the last known address of tenant via first class mail. If the letter containing the payment is returned to holder undelivered, and if holder is unable to locate tenant after a reasonable effort, the payment shall become the property of the landlord 90 days after the date the payment was mailed. We all know she ain't getting that back because it was too much going on. Okay? Yeah, we all know he definitely kept that security deposit. Plus, she owes even more than that. Pac, we talking about Laonia. She not about to do anything for her children's comfort. Exactly. Exactly. Because that could have. I'm gonna show y'all those models. I'm gonna show y'all and so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Um, It says, okay, let me see what I want to read next. We read delivery of move out statement, right of holder to interplead security deposit. Okay, let's do that one. If there is a bona fide dispute over the security deposit, holder may but shall not be required to interplead the funds into a court of competent jurisdiction um upon notice to all parties having an interest in the security deposit. Holder shall be reimbursed for and may deduct from any funds interpleaded its cost and expenses including reasonable attorney fees actually incurred. The prevailing defendant in the interpleader lawsuit shall be entitled to collect its attorney fees and court costs in the amount deducted by holder from the non-prevailing party. All parties hereby agree to indemnify and hold holder harmless from and against all claims, causes of action, suits, and damages arising out of or related to the performance by holder of its duties hereunder. All these big words, child. All parties further covenant and agree not to sue holder for damages relating to any decision of holder to disburse the security deposit made in accordance with the requirements of this lease or to interplead the security deposit into a court of competent jurisdiction. Oh Lord, I feel like I was back in school. Oh, good thing I can kind of read and I know big words because I'll be sounding like a pure fool up here. Imagine trying to read something like that and you don't know how to, you're a little slow. Yeah. Anyways, shout out to Tell Me Something Good. You say, Lupac, I'm still trying to figure out how did she tell a lie, then contradict herself in the same text message about the utilities and when she moved out. She did. Like, I was like, I wonder if other people caught that. But y'all know I called it out to y'all. When she said, hold on. Let me tell y'all verbatim. Hold up. She said, let's see, let me go to the messages for the ones who don't know what we talking about right here. Let's see. Okay, so she said, good morning. I have all my things out. My kids tested positive for COVID, so I haven't returned yet. I was having the cleaning people come out today, but the power is out. Can you have the power turned back on? I didn't know they would turn it off so soon. That's what a lie is, y'all. So then the landlord said, why is the power off? Are you paying the utility bills? Can you call them? You still own the unit until September end based on lease notice. Please follow up and check. We need utility bills also paid until September based on lease notice. She said, I already paid it. I scheduled cutoff for my move out day. So if she scheduled cutoff for her move out day, she moved out on the 12th. She didn't move out on the 31st, right? And some may argue, well, what if she scheduled it for the 31st? They would have cut it off on the 31st. I guarantee you they would have never cut it off earlier if she scheduled cutoff on the 31st. Because for all they know, she could still be in the home. So she knew exactly what she was doing. Anytime you schedule cutoff on a specific date, that's when cutoff will be. Ain't no utility place cutting no power off or utilities off until the date or, only for the date that you give them. So if those utilities and lights were cut off earlier than the 31st, it's because she requested it. And y'all can call any utility place to verify that. That's a fact. That ain't no opinion right there. She did that. And she knew exactly what she was doing. And you could tell by the attitude change in the next few messages where she said, I will not be responsible for no utilities for another tenant. She knew exactly what she was doing. Even try to lie and say, in order to transfer service to new home, I can't have two homes in my name. Yes, you can. You can only do it for a small amount of time, though. They're not going to leave it like that indefinitely, but I've had it like that before when I was renting in the past. You can do it. They just won't leave it for a long amount of time. But for these type of purposes, they will do that. They will. And this message right here too. Wait, it's the one. Yeah, you could tell this how you know she was lying based off of this message when she said, I have vacated the property and turned off utilities as I am no longer residing there. That's how you know she knew exactly what she was doing, y'all. Look how her attitude changed. She knew she was not leaving them utilities on while she was no longer in that home. She left on the 12th, not the 31st. She was playing in that man's face. Because look how her attitude changed when she started saying, oh, I'm not paying for nobody else to be up in there. That's what she said. It is the landlord's responsibility to maintain utilities once a tenant has moved out. I cannot and will not reopen accounts in my name for the benefit of future tenants. That's not what he said. You were supposed to have them on as long as you were responsible for the unit. He ain't say leave them on for the other tenants. You didn't even leave him on long enough for him to get the move out inspection done. Ciao. Anyways, okay, let me get back. That was a good one though. Tell me something good. That was a good one. We know how she do. A lie don't care who tell it, baby. All right. So where we at, y'all? Let's see. Are we on? Yeah, we on this part. Okay. How we looking on the lights, y'all? We got 365 in the building. What we looking like on the lights? What we looking like on the super chat? Go. We liking or we lacking, y'all? Somebody let me know. Ahmad, let me know. All right. So let me see. We're gonna go to right. Okay, we read that part. We're gonna go to number 5, which is notices. Let me go up a little bit since we read the top. All right, we're on notices now, y'all. Oh, I went too far. Hold up. Okay, here we go. We're on notices now. And it says, this is the good parts. Required notice to lease termination or raising the rent. This is important, y'all, because this is the reason why she moved out, allegedly. Not allegedly, but this is the reason why she moved out and no longer wanted to stay in the property. And somebody said, oh, how does that make her broke? First of all, I'll be like, where are they getting this stuff from? Because that was another thing that I heard that people were saying, oh, how does that make her broke? Because she didn't want to pay, higher on the lease or whatever. I wouldn't say it makes her broke, but I would say she ain't got it like she used to. Because the LaOnia we know was paying $7,000-$8,000 a month. So listen, y'all forgot the last place she had, she was paying 7-8. Well, not the last, but the one before that. She done moved so many times, child. But she was leasing a home for $7,000 to $8,000 a month. Okay. So 3,100 should have been, that's small to a giant, right? That's small to a giant, to a boss, a big boss. Well, it should have been, because if you can lease, first of all, I don't give a damn if I was a millionaire. I ain't paying no $7,000 a month for nobody's property, because that's not yours. Okay, that's somebody, you paying somebody else's bill. I don't care how long you occupying their property, you paying somebody else's bill. Because 9 times out of 10, if they're charging you $7,000 a month, it's because they don't even own that home. They charging that and you paying their mortgage for them. We ain't doing that. For me to eventually have to leave anyways, I wish I would. I wish. You gotta be smart, bro. That's how the rich go broke right there. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. That the money she wasted, she could have been owning her own units and written it out. If you could pay $7,000 a month for damn near a year, let me see, because I don't remember how long she was in that last house, But let's say if she was in, this is just an example, y'all. This don't, so they can't say, oh, Pac over there lying. No, I'm just giving an example, just if she was, right? Because we don't know as facts. So let's say LaOnya was in that home that was $7,000 a month. Let's say, hold on. She was in that home for 12 months, which would be a year. Let's say 12 times 7 is, oh, hold on. Hold up, y'all. That's $84,000 for the year. That's a home right there. That's a home right there. So that's somebody paying $84,000 in 1 year towards somebody else's principal. Ain't no way in hell I'm finna do that. I don't care how much. I don't care if I'm making $100,000 a month. She could have literally built her own, invested into her own property, real estate, and rented and leased out, her stuff herself. And that would have been some generational wealth right there. That is the bruh. This is why you can't give a nigga no money. Okay? You can't. This is why you can't give a ninja no money. Because this is the type of decisions they make. I don't care if I got it. I'm not doing that. That is dumb. Financially, that is a dumb decision. Period. Like, I don't get it. She could have been buying house, then rent it. Exactly. She could have been, y'all. If you going, and this is my advice to anybody, based on my knowledge of real estate and stuff like that. If you're going to pay that amount, at least be under contractual agreement, leasing to own. Not just leasing to own. That way, once you done paid all that money, you own that property at a certain period in time. And then if you decide to move from there, you can lease it out next because you the owner. I don't advise nobody. You should be within a certain amount. Because listen, everybody can't buy a home. Everybody's not there yet, right? Whether it's through their credit score or financial reasons. Everybody's not there yet. So it's not no shade or no hate or anything like that towards people who don't have it to buy a home yet, right? But if you're going to lease, you need to keep it within a certain bracket, financial bracket, because you don't want to be paying for somebody else's stuff. Like, you don't want to. If you gotta pay $3,500 a month, that's still a lot, because the cost of living ain't that much here in Louisiana. So it might be like that in LA or Georgia or Atlanta, not Atlanta, child, New York, certain places like that. But Louisiana cost of living ain't that high. Okay, like they still got houses here you can rent for $700 a month. They ain't all that, but they still exist. Okay, but once you start getting to 4, 5, 6, 7,000, no, I don't care where you live. I don't care where you live. I don't care how much money I got, because people look at it like this, right? A lot of times people they consider depreciation over owning, and you got to go with the lesser of two evils, like they say. I would much rather own something than waste. Just like when it comes to leasing vehicles, the thought process of it is stupid to me. I could literally give a class on this stuff. The thought process of that is so stupid to me. You got people saying, "Oh, I wouldn't buy that because it depreciates soon as you take it off the lot." But you would much rather lease it for a couple months, thousands of dollars, when you could literally pay it out and go get you another vehicle and pay that one out too. Whenever you want a vehicle, if you're going to lease a vehicle for thousands of dollars, why not just buy it? At least you own it. Who cares if it depreciates? It's yours. Then go get you another one. Because guess what? When you constantly leasing over and over, you're not owning anything. And then when it gets to a point where the economy fails, or where your bag is not bagging, you can't even afford to do that anymore. And now you don't have the money to lease or a vehicle to own. It's all about thinking smart, making good financial decisions. That's crazy to me. I don't understand people with that thought process. So because you don't wanna you thinking about depreciation or stuff like that, you just gonna put yourself in a situation where you don't have anything? Or you only got something temporarily? Like, no. The goal should always be ownership. Ownership is ownership. Once you own something, it's yours. I don't care if you gotta pay taxes on it. It's still yours. It's still yours. Granted, yes, they can take it if you don't pay taxes for a while, but I mean, that's just the American way, period. Everything getting taxed, child. But you still own it. It's still yours. So if you decide to move somewhere else, you can rent it out. And then you got value in that also, because you can rent it out and use whatever you charge that rent. You can add the taxes to it and pay the taxes off of that too, and still pockets up because you own it and you ain't got to pay no bank. Child, she definitely made some very bad decisions, y'all. In Louisiana, rent is 2,800 and no, yeah, it's certain air. It depends. Red Duplessis. It depends on where you go. But like I said, it's some places out here where they still got properties. They can get child. You can get a 3-bedroom, 2 or 3 bath for $700 a month. Now, when you start going to BR and NOLA and stuff like that, yeah, it depends on the area also. Depends on the value of the area and stuff like that. Now, I'm talking about low value areas. That's why I say it might not look too much or nothing, because you get what you pay for basically. But that's anywhere. You get what you pay for. Get what you pay for. But Louisiana still got some, low budget type of rentals. It just ain't gonna be too good. It ain't gonna be too good because you get what you pay for. Yeah, because they're billing on those high rise apartments in NOLA. Now they're expensive. They like 28 on the child. Listen, I wouldn't pay that. I'm sorry. I ain't paying that. I'll pay that on a mortgage. That's about it. At least I know I'm gonna be working towards owning it eventually. But I ain't paying that for no apartment. I ain't paying it. And I would presume that that's cheap to some people based on the area that they live in. I'm pretty sure some people are like, oh, 2,800 ain't bad because you used to seeing things that are like 6,800. But I'm not used to that from where I'm from. Like it ain't, the cost of living ain't that high here. All right, so hold on, y'all. Let me get back to where we was. Because y'all know I get myself off track so fast. Okay, B, we in. Oh, I didn't even read the first part. Okay, notices. It says A, required notice to lease, termination, or raising the rent. Okay, we know he wanted to raise the rent from 28 to 31, y'all. Either party must provide the other party with the number of days notice to terminate the lease set forth elsewhere herein. Landlord must provide tenant with the same number of days notice prior to increasing the rental rate. Okay, so, and this is why I said, y'all, the message that he sent her, letting her know he was going up on the rent, was very crucial to this situation. She didn't show that. And that's a red flag for me, because why did you cut off that message? That would have showed the date he sent it to. Did he give her 60 days notice, letting her know he was raising the rent? Because he was required to do that also. But because she cut that message off, that made me feel like he did. And another thing that made me feel like he did is the fact that she didn't mention it. She didn't say, oh, well, you just notifying me that you're going up on the rent. She didn't say that. What we seen, we can only go off of context and what's presented. What we seen is her replying to that, saying, I can't pay 31. I can do month to month. And or I can do month to month or be out in October and consider that 60 days notice, or I could do month to month. That's what she said. She ain't say, oh, well, you didn't give me 60 days letting me know that you was going up on the rent. No, Based on the context and what was presented, it seems like the landlord is in the right. Because she was also saying, I realized I didn't give you 60 days notice. She ain't never mentioned him not giving her 60 days notice. So that's what I'm going off to, y'all. So it says B, generally, all notices given hereunder shall be in writing, legible, and signed by the party given the notice. In the event of a dispute regarding notice, the burden shall be on the party given notice to prove delivery. Just what I said, damn near. The requirements of this notice paragraph shall apply even prior to this agreement becoming binding. Notices shall only be delivered, 1, in person, 2, by courier, overnight delivery service, or certified or registered U.S. mail, herein after collectively delivery service, or 3, by email or facsimile. The person delivering or sending the written notice signed by a party may be someone other than that party. C, delivery of notice. A notice to the party shall be deemed to have been delivered and received upon the earliest of the following to occur. 1, the actual receipt of the written notice by a party. 2, in case of delivery by a delivery service, when the written notice is provided that a record of the delivery is created. 3, in the case of delivery electronically on the date and time the written notice is, hold on. I'll stop. Oh, hold up, y'all. Child, I'm all off. These words so small. Provided that a record of delivery is created in the case of delivered electronically. Hold on. Notice is electronically sent to an email address or facsimile number, meaning like phone number, of a party herein are subsequently provided by the party following the notice provisions herein. Okay, that's enough of that one because, I just really wanted to read that first part of that section. Let me see. When broker authorized to accept notice for client. Okay, we don't need to read that one. Rekey fee. Rekey fee. We don't need to read that one. I guess that's for like if something happens to the keys. Oh no, I take that back. It says rekey fee upon vacating the premises, tenant agrees to pay the fee to rekey the locks set forth elsewhere herein either upon the termination of the lease or to replace any mailbox keys or access card not returned by the tenant at move out. So I guess in the case of her, losing the keys or not returning the keys, she'll be responsible for them. Let's see, pets. Okay, we didn't see no pets. Smoking, we don't need to do smoking. No subletting. We don't need to do subletting. That's basically her trying to rent out a portion of the unit. Utilities. Let's do that one. Number 11, y'all. Let me go up so y'all can see it. All right, the very bottom, that's the part we own, y'all. Utilities. It says landlord shall have no responsibility to connect the slow down, Pop. Landlord shall have no responsibility to connect utilities, the responsibility of which to pay for shall be that of the tenant. Okay. Tenant shall select and connect all utilities to be paid for by tenant within 3 banking days from the commencement of the lease and shall keep this is important because the judge gonna go off for this. Okay, not the payment history, not the fact that she wasn't late on her rent. Even though we don't know that because that wasn't stated, but yeah, like the person said that left that long college essay under my post. Under my video. It says, hold on, where I stop. Okay, and shall keep these utilities on through the completion of the move out inspection. Did she do that, y'all? Did she do that? Or did she move out on the 12th? Because her lease was up on the 31st, right? She moved out on the 12th. So there was no move out inspection done because the lights and the utilities were off. According to her, also in those very same text messages that she provided, which this is another crazy part, y'all. She never notified the landlord that she moved out on the 12th. She told the courts in her dispossessory notice response that she moved out on the 12th and not the 31st. The landlord was unaware. And the crazy part is, if she would have told him she was moving out early, that was even more so reason for him to try to find somebody. He could have even tried to find somebody that early. That would have gave him even more time. But because she waited, he can only assume that she moved out on the 31st because their communication was after the fact. So you wasn't in that home all that time. Because between the 12th and the 31st, that's almost 2 weeks, if not 2 weeks. That would have been a little extra time for that man to try to find somebody else too. But she didn't tell him. So imagine him finding out through the courts that she left. She vacated, abandoned the property on, because it's really considered abandonment because she moved out before she was supposed to. So she left the property on the 12th and not the 31st, and he didn't find that out till he submitted this court stuff and got her response back. Okay? And still had the keys. Because that's another thing. If you moved out on the 12th, why you didn't send the keys on the 12th? Why you waited till the 28th to send the keys? They're not even knowing if they was going to even make it to him by the 31st. So it says, hold on. Let me go back and read that. And shall keep these utilities on through the completion of the move-out inspection. In the event landlord fails to disconnect any utilities serving the premises after completing the move-out inspection, meaning that if the utilities was still on in her name once he did the move-out inspection and he didn't try to turn them off, then she would be reimbursed. It says, hold on. After completing the move-out inspection and tenant receives the benefit of such utilities paid for by the landlord, tenant shall, upon receiving a bill for the same, immediately pay the cost thereof as additional rent to the landlord. My bad, y'all. I said that wrong. So basically what they're saying is, let's say the utilities was still on in her name and the landlord paid the bill. Then she would have to reimburse the landlord, as like an addition to the rent because it was owned in her name, but he paid the bill. Once she was no longer there. Let me make that clear. Once she was not, if she was still there, but once she was no longer there. Okay. Let me see. It then says, hold up. Where I stop? I read that part. Landlord, tenant. Okay. In addition, tenant shall immediately cause any such utility to be transferred to tenant's name so that the bill goes to and is paid directly by tenant. Okay. Early termination by tenant. Oh, Lord, we done made it to 2 hours. Hold up, y'all. Let me see if I can make this even shorter. That's bad. That's a lot. That's the 300 he asked for. Yep. Because he had to turn them back on in his name to be able to do the move-out inspection, to check his all of the amenities, to check all of the appliances or any other damage. In order to assess all of that, he had to turn the utilities back on in his name because she refused. So that's why he put utilities $300. Because anytime you turn on utilities, you gotta pay a deposit and all of that. It ain't just, like you gotta pay bills for that. Lights, water, all of that. That's separate. That ain't under the same bill. All right. That's under different companies. Okay, so let me see. Early termination by tenant. Early termination by landlord. Let me see. Holding over. Fee to prepare lease amendment. Use premises. Okay. Appliances. Only the appliances described elsewhere herein are provided by landlord As part of this agreement and included in the lease, tenant acknowledges that tenant has inspected these appliances and are in good working conditions. Okay, so we don't need to do that page. I'm trying to figure out which one I'm gonna put up next, y'all, since we over 2 hours. Pest control. It says landlord will be responsible for termite and rodent control. Okay. Propensity for flooding. Lead-based paint, liquidated damages. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me go here. All right, let's put this one up. Let's put this one up. I think it's this one. No. Did I read this one? Oh, don't tell me I got them out of order now. Hold up, y'all. Is it this one? I think this is the next one. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one I need. Okay, what time it is? 9:35. All right, let me see. I got a little time. Little time, just a little, not too much. I do need to warm my coffee. All right, let's go here, y'all. And my man probably fell out when he walked into this place. You never know. But I do feel like some pictures gonna be submitted for that court date, child. Because you know he gotta show damages. He gotta prove that to try to get them coins. So we shall see, y'all. We shall see. All right, let me go down. We gonna see. All right, so we don't need to read pest control, propensity for flooding. Let me see. I don't think that flooding. We don't have to do nothing for flooding. We don't have to read that. Lead-based paint. Okay, we don't have to read that. Liquidated damages. Let's do that part. It says it is acknowledged by landlord and tenant with respect to any reference in the lease to liquidated damages that the actual damages of the party being paid such damages are hard to calculate and that the liquidated damages referenced in the lease are a reasonable pre-estimate of the party's actual damages and not a penalty. Okay, then it says A, fee to halt dispossessory action. This is what he did, y'all. Remember, he filed a dispossessory action, which is also kind of like a distress warrant. Well, they similar. So this is what most landlords file when they are trying to take a tenant to court. And it's used, dispossessory can be filed for multiple reasons, not just for relinquishing possession of a property, okay? Which she tried to get it dismissed because of that. But it's multiple reasons why it could have been filed, which is why his dispossessory was granted, okay? So, and that's why they got that hearing on the 9th. So it says landlord can file a dispossessory. Now, mind you, this is in his lease. So he has a right to file it because it's in the lease, okay? So, and she signed off on it. So that's where she effed up at. How you going to try to get the courts to dismiss something that you signed off on? It don't work like that. That's why it's very crucial to read your lease agreement, understand it, comprehend it, fully assess it. That way you ain't signing your life over in a lease agreement. Damn near. So don't be surprised she don't start crying in court like she did with Queen Steph. All right, so it says landlord can file a dispossessory action against tenant if any rents or other fees and charges owned by tenant are not paid in full by the due date. One, he could file it just off the fact that she turned them utilities off. and they was turned off before the 31st. I don't care if he filed it. Let's say I don't care if she relinquished possession of the property on the 28th. If she turned them utilities off on the 30th, he could have still did it because you were supposed to keep them on to the 31st. So let me finish reading. Where did I stop, child? I need to start reading it in full before I stop because then I lose my spot. Okay, in the event that a dispossessory action is filed against the tenant and then dismissed prior, meaning before, to a court hearing because tenant pays the amounts owed, tenant shall also pay landlord as liquidated damages the fee to halt dispossessory action in the amount set forth elsewhere herein. This fee shall immediately be paid as an additional rent along with other amounts paid to halt the dispossessory action. Meaning that if she was to say, hey, I'm going to pay you, and she go pay him, that then he can, try to stop it. He can, well, not try it, but he can stop it or whatever. But she had to pay a little extra. So it then says, B, denial of access, right of access, signage. Upon 24 hours advance notice to tenant, landlord, and landlord's agent shall have the right Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday 1 to 6 p.m. to access the premises to inspect, repair, and maintain the same and/or to show the premises to prospective tenants and buyers. In addition, landlord and landlord's agents may enter the premises at any time to investigate potential emergencies, evidence of water leaks, fire, smoke, foul odors, sounds indicating the possibility of an injured person or animal, or other similar evidence of an emergency shall all be sufficient grounds for landlord and landlord's agents to enter premises and property for this purpose. During the last 60 days of the term of the lease and during any period when premises is being leased month to month, landlord and landlord's agents may also place a for rent or for sale sign in the yard or on the exterior of the premises or on the property, may install a lockbox, and may, show the premises and property to the prospective tenants and or purchasers during the hours listed above. Let me see. I don't want to read it all. Unauthorized pet charge, unauthorized smoking within premises, utility connection charge. In order for landlord or manager to perform an accurate move out condition report, utilities to the premises need to be on. Should tenant disconnect the utilities prior to the completion of the move out condition report, thereby interfering with landlord's ability to perform a complete review of the premises condition, tenant agrees to pay to landlord the utility disconnect fee as liquidated damages as set for elsewhere herein. That makes her responsible right there. It's in your lease, girl. It's in your lease. You signed off on it. And you turned the utilities off. Then argued and said, I'm not being responsible for the utilities for other tenants. If you would have read your lease, then you would know that you technically are. Like, not saying responsible for other tenants, but she's gonna have to pay this man, y'all. She might not have to pay $14,000, depending on the damages we haven't seen yet, right? But she gonna have to pay him something. Period. Ain't no way around it. She's gonna have to pay. Because she signed that binding contract. That's the purpose of signing a lease agreement. So that rules and regulations and all of that good stuff can be abided. Okay? What's up, Queen Stab? Shout out to you, my love. She gonna have to pay. All right. So, y'all, it's another good part in here that's T. Okay? We ain't got to it yet, though. Renewal term. Let's read that part. It says either party may terminate this lease at the end of the term by giving the other party the notice not to renew lease term. If neither party gives the required notice, the lease will automatically renew as described hereinafter. Wait, hold on. The required notice is 60 days notice. She act like it was a what you call it? She act like she was doing him a favor or like it was just an add-on, an additive. No, it's a required 60-day notice. It ain't just something that you can bypass. Like you was doing him a favor by she was saying, "Oh, I understand that there was a 60-day notice on the lease." Well, if you understand it, then you know that it was required. It ain't just a bypass. It was a requirement, ma'am, which is why he was well within his rights to charge you September's rent because you didn't follow the terms of your lease. That's why I don't understand how people not getting it, y'all. No, she didn't stay there in September. But guess what? She didn't give the 60-day required notice, which is why he added September on because she put him in a bind financially with his investments. Child, even if you read the lease, if you don't understand it, get somebody who does to help you comprehend it. Period. So we even got to the good part. Let the people across the street tell it is a 30-day notice for tenants and 60-day notice for the landlord per law. Child. Okay. We're gonna just let them think whatever they want because the courts, the courts ain't gonna lie on them. But let them tell it, child. If they say the courts lied on her, them people over there gonna believe it, because everybody be lying on Laonia, right? the judge gonna be mishandling her too, okay? So, but at least with the judge, they can't do nothing about it. So whatever that judge say stands. Where did I stop? Hold on, y'all. Okay, it says if neither party gives the required notice, the lease will automatically renew as described elsewhere herein. If the renewal term paragraph calls for a percentage increase in the rental rate, the rental charge for any renewal term shall be rounded up to the next $5 increment. All other terms of the existing lease shall remain the same. The additional term shall begin on the first day following the end of the preceding term, unless either party gives notice to the other prior to the end of the current term of that party's decision to terminate the lease at the end of the current term. If this lease has not been terminated during the final renewal term, this lease will continue on a month-to-month basis until the same is terminated in accordance with Georgia law. That's why he tried to charge her September's rent. He didn't do month-to-month with her, and I think other people misinterpreted this lease contract, right? Because people were saying, they was on month-to-month, right? No. September would have been considered month-to-month because the lease wasn't renewed. That's why he was well within his rights to charge her for September. It's in the lease agreement. So technically, she does owe for September because she didn't give the required 60-day notice not to renew, which made it carry over into month-to-month. And he actually did her a courtesy by saying only pay September. Well, August and September, even though she had already paid August. He did her a favor by saying that. Because he could have said, you're going to pay up until I find somebody else to get in here. But he didn't say that. He said, just pay September and keep the utilities on, and give him time to do the inspection, get the whatever damages, whatever, and, try to rent the unit out. He didn't say keep paying until I find somebody else. You know what? Personally, I think, this is what I personally think, y'all, because when looking at those text messages and then looking at the court paperwork, Mind you, those text messages were in August while she was still there. Well, some of them was while she was still there, and others, the ones at the end were once she moved out. But I personally think because he didn't get a chance to see it while she was still there, that's why he told her just pay for September. But in the court paperwork, he said he wanted her to be responsible until he's able to rent it out. And I think it's because he's seen a good bit of damages in that home once he was able to go up in there and check it out. And that's why he filed that court paperwork. That's what I think. Because he was good with her just paying September at first. But once he was able to go in there and assess, he seen something totally different. And he probably said, well, it's going to take a while to get this back in rent and shape. So I need her to be responsible for every month that it is unoccupied due to us having to shake it back. That's what I take from that. Huh? Lupac, look, her supporters is laughing their ASS off at her with that laughing emoji going up. They don't want to laugh at her in the chat because they know they'll get screenshot. Or they laughing at me, but I can't see it because they do that too. Okay. I don't know how many times I gotta tell these people. I'm on StreamYard. So I can't see that reaction. I can't see if y'all hearting it. You know that thing at the bottom of the chat where y'all can see, because if y'all looking at me straight through YouTube, but I'm on StreamYard on my end. So they be breaking their little fingers trying to hit the laughing emoji, and the blogger or the content creator can't even see that reaction. So I'll be like, what? I don't even know about that unless y'all say something. So, now, if I was streaming straight through YouTube, then I would see. But if somebody's streaming through StreamYard, Restream, Ecamm, whatever, any streaming service, that person can't see y'all doing that. So y'all really be wasting y'all time. Like it doesn't affect us. If y'all laughing at us while we talking, more often than not, we can't even see y'all doing it. Now the people in the chat can see it, but we can't. It defeats the purpose. But don't let me stop you. Do your big one, baby. Do your big one. Because you still over here giving me a view. So that's what actually counts. Okay? You have to actually click on the stream to even do that. Thank you. All right, let me see. What is that? Okay. All right. I'm gonna fix that one. All right. Excuse me, y'all. Hold up. Oh, I got a pee too, Lord. Let me try to get to the good part. All right, agency and brokerage. We don't need to read that part. Brokerage material. Okay, let me take this down, y'all, because we good on this one. Let's see. I want to get to that good part before we get off here because we on here over 2 hours now. Material relationship disclosure. We don't need to read that one. Disclosure of ownership and agents. We don't need to read that. See other terms and conditions default. Tenant fails to abide by any terms and conditions of this lease. 2, tenant files a petition in bankruptcy. No. Tenant fails to timely pay rent. No. Tenant fails to reimburse landlord for any damages. Oh, I can read. Let me just read that part to y'all. I ain't gonna put that one up because it don't really pay. Let me make sure. Oh no, we're gonna put this part up. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. We're gonna put this one up because it is a good little piece. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is it. No, this ain't it. I think I did this one already. Is it? Wait. Brokerage, right to terminate. Oh, I didn't even get to this one. Okay. Let me take that one off. Hold up, y'all. That's the wrong one. I'm out of order. Okay, let's see. Is this the one? This the one. All right, this the one we need, baby. This the one right here. Okay. All right, let me go here. Owner, manager. Okay, we don't need that part. The terms and conditions. Okay, tenant's responsibilities. All right, let's see. All right, let me see where we at. Okay, tenant effect by default. Let me read this part. It says under default, number 3, tenant fails to timely pay rent. Not that part. Number 4, tenant fails to reimburse landlord for any damages, repairs, and costs to the premises or property other than normal wear and tear caused by the actions, neglect, or intentional wrongdoing of tenant or members of tenants' households and their invitees, licenses, and guests. It says, prior to the end of the lease, tenant either moves out of the premises or shuts off any of the utilities serving the premises without the consent of the landlord. Y'all hearing that? You ain't able to do none of that, child. Effect of default. Okay, let's see. We don't need to pay that. I mean, read that part. Okay, so tenants' responsibilities, repairs, and maintenance. For the ones who keep saying, who is she? What is she responsible for, or why? It says tenant has inspected premises and acknowledges that it is in good condition, free of defects, and fit for residential occupancy. So this is what she was supposed to do at the beginning of her term, prior to moving in, which is standard for anybody trying to lease or rent a place. You need to inspect it first. Okay, so we can only take that she did that because she actually moved in. So it says, hold on. Tenant shall promptly notify landlord of any dangerous condition or need for maintenance existing in premises. Promptly notify, y'all. This is the part right here where she was supposed to notify him of the leak. So if she did and she didn't submit it, then she crazy. And if she didn't notify him and she stayed in there while it leaked all that time, she's even more so crazy because now she's liable. Ain't no way in hell I'm finna go no 18 months in a townhouse and not notify the landlord of a severe leak that's causing mold, etc. So I would hope she notified him and they just didn't fix it. Then she can prove that to the courts so she don't be liable for that part of the damages, right? Okay. So it says, hold on. Tenant shall promptly notify landlord of any dangerous condition or need for maintenance existing in premises or on the property. Upon receipt of notice from tenant, landlord shall, within a reasonable time period thereafter, repair the following. Number 1, all defects in premises or property which create unsafe living conditions or render premises untenable. 2, and to the extent required by state law, such other defects which, if not corrected, will leave premises or property in a state of disrepair, except as provided above. Tenants agree to maintain premises in the neat, sanitary, and clean condition, free of trash and debris. All of tenants, trash shall be kept in a designated trash containers and removed from the premises at least once each week. Tenant obligation to maintain the premises includes, but not limited to, replacing any light bulbs which fail during the lease term and regularly changing at HVAC filters, which is the air conditioner unit filters, right? Tenant shall be responsible for any clogged plumbing within the premises. Landlord shall be responsible for all other plumbing issues between the premises and the street of the premises and the septic tank, or in any plumbing line outside of the premises which exclusively serves the premises. Tenant shall be responsible for any damages to the premises and or property caused by tenants' abuse or neglect of the premises slash property. Any expenses incurred by landlord to remedy any violations of this provision shall be paid by tenant to landlord as additional rent within 14 days of the receipt of an invoice from landlord. If if tenant submits, wait, y'all, let me blow this up because I'm struggling. These words so tiny. Okay, hold up, y'all. All right. If tenant submits a service request or repair request to landlord and the contractor responding to this request on behalf of the landlord determines that the item is working correctly, tenant agrees to reimburse landlord for the amount for the contractor's invoice. Okay? Hold on, y'all. Let me get my water. The coffee then got cold. It been cold actually. It been got cold. And if I'm gonna drink something cold, it could be some water, child. What's up to everybody coming in? Please hit that like for pop. Support my goal, y'all. I think they got a child. They got about 7 left on the goal. So y'all give me to at least 5. If y'all don't fill my goal up, at least give me 5 of them. But definitely hit that like button. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. I'm getting tired, child. We've been on here almost 3 hours, y'all. Y'all know I don't be doing that long. Okay. All right, let's take this one down and go to the next one. I'm trying to see if we're gonna get to the good one. Hold up. Oh, this is it. I think this is the one. Let's see. Yep. Okay, let me pull this one up. And then we go. I ain't forgot. I'm gonna show y'all the picture. I ain't forgot. Let me turn this fan off. It's making me cold. I already got on shorts. All right, let me pull this next one up. Where is it? Is this it? Nope. That ain't it. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find this one. Oh, this is it. Okay. Smoke detector, yo. Turn off the lights and baby. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay. Oh. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go through this part. It says, okay, we on smoke detector. I think I kind of skipped out of order, but that's all right. This is a good one, I think. B smoke. Okay, we don't need to read the smoke detector. We did y'all hear her smoke detector in the live? I don't know. So freezing of pipes, we don't need to read that. Mold and mildew. Okay, let's read that since there's a leak. Because anytime you got a leak, a ceiling leak, or whatever, 9 times out of 10, if it's not tended to, then over time you will get some mold and mildew. Okay. So it say tenant acknowledge that mold and or mildew can grow in any portion of the premises or property that are exposed to elevated levels of moisture and that some forms of mold and mildew can be harmful to their health. Tenant therefore agrees to regularly inspect the premises for mold and or mildew and immediately report to landlord any water intrusion problems, mold and or mildew other than in sinks, showers, toilets, and other design area. I mean, hold on, about other designed to other areas designed to hold water or to be wet areas. So this is why I said, y'all, if she don't have no proof that she notified this man of that leak in the hall or any ceiling leaks, wherever the leaks are, she's gonna be held liable. And I'm kind of feeling like she didn't, because if she did, why didn't she submit it with her court papers? Unless she gonna do it on the night. You never know. So we just gonna hold off. We're gonna give her the benefit of the doubt because you gotta be a plumb fool to be in a home for 18 months, and if it's leaking and you not tell your landlord. So I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, y'all. But if when the night get here, if that proof is not submitted, then we know that she was in there like a plumb fool for 18 months and didn't submit that. Then she will be held liable. So we'll see. We'll see, y'all. All right, let's see. Where we at? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I didn't even finish reading that part. Tenants shall not block or cover any heating, ventilation, or air conditioning ducts located in the premises. Tenant acknowledges having read the a brief guide to mold moisture in your home found at email, not email, but website, and shall follow the recommendations contained herein. Access codes, okay. We don't need to read that part. Premises part of the property. Part of the community association. Let's get to rules and regulations. That's at the bottom. Get to that part. Who 14 years old? He showed did, Christina. He covered every nook and cranny, baby. Every part. And y'all about to see right here with rules and regulations. You can see he ain't playing. Okay? So I highly doubt that if Laonia notified that man about a leak that he left it unattended. That's hard to believe. So, rules and regulations, y'all. Tenant shall be responsible for violations of these rules and regulations caused by tenant, any occupant of the premises, and their guests, invitees, licensees, and contractors. A. Tenant is prohibited from adding, changing, or in any way altering locks installed on the doors of the premises without prior written permission of landlord, with which permission shall not be unreasonably withheld, provided that tenant provides landlord with a key or current code thereto, as the case may be, and uses a type and make of lock approved by landlord. So she couldn't change the locks unless approved by landlord, and he had to be given the key or access code, depending on what type of lock you got. There's some locks you can put numbers and codes and passwords in to get in your house. So we're going to hold on, let me see. B, motor vehicles. Motor vehicles shall only be parked on the paved portions of the premises and the property intended for use as parking spaces, and whose use is not reserved to others. C, motor vehicles with expired or missing license plates, non-operative vehicles, and vehicles which drip oil or antifreeze, that's the lemons, shall not be parked or kept on the premises or the property. D, no water bed shall be used on the premises or property without the prior written consent of the landlord. Who still got water beds? That is the most uncomfortable ish to sleep on. I remember my godmother had a water bed in her house for a long time, y'all, and I used to hate going stay over there, sleep on that water bed because it's like you can't. Oh Lord, that is the worst experience ever. Ain't nothing comfortable about a waterbed. I'm sorry. Somebody else might say differently, but I hated that thing. Like I used to be wanting to sleep on the sofa. My nanny, the older generation, they're like, you ain't sleeping on my sofa. You gonna sleep in that bed. I used to hate that. See when you rolling all over the place on that damn waterbed. This word, I'd rather sleep on an air mattress. All right, so let me see. Hold on, y'all. E, tenant shall not shower in a shower which does not have a fully operational shower curtain or shower enclosure. That's how much he wasn't playing with his stuff, y'all. They couldn't even take a shower if the shower didn't have a shower curtain. Because that causes water damage to the walls also. If you don't have the proper shower curtain and stuff in the bathroom. meaning the liner and the curtain. Prevents the water from going all over the floor, from getting on the walls and all of that. Okay? So it says F. No space heaters or window air conditioning units shall be used to heat or cool premises except with the written consent of the landlord. You like, ain't no window units over here. Let me see. G, tenant shall comply with all posted rules and regulations governing the use of any recreational facilities, if any located on the premises or property, meaning like the tennis court, the pool, the playground, all of that. All rules and regulations must be abided by. Okay, that's what that one means. H, tenant shall only skateboard, skate, rollerblade, or bicycle on paved portions of the premises or property while wearing proper safety equipment. Meaning if you fall, well, you're not supposed to do it, but we do not want to be held responsible for your medical bills because you ain't wearing the proper gear while skating, rollerblading, or riding a bicycle. Okay? So if you're gonna do it, you gotta stay on the paved area, not in the grass, whether it's fake or real. And you have to wear the proper safety equipment, child. That's crazy, y'all. That's why I said this ain't one of those. This ain't giving Section 8. This ain't giving, like 2-3 page lease. This is 12, 13 pages. That's how you know it just ain't no ranky dank property. So it says, hold on. I, tenant shall be prohibited from improving, altering, or modifying the premises or property, including painting and landscaping, during the term of this agreement without the prior written consent of the landlord. Any improvements, alterations, or modifications approved by landlord shall be deemed to be for the sole benefit of tenant, and tenant expressly waives all rights to recover the cost of the value of the same. The landlord, meaning that we not paying you for any approved modification. So if you decide you want to repaint the white paint, we're not reimbursing you. Okay? It's for your benefit. So we ain't reimbursing it. So hold on, let me see where I stopped. Dang, I should have read it all. Okay. Landlord shall have the right but not the obligation to condition the approval of requested modifications on tenant removing the same prior to the end of the lease term and restoring the affected area to a condition equal to or better than it was prior to the modification. J, no window treatments currently existing on any windows shall be removed or replaced by tenant without the prior written consent of landlord. No sheets, blankets. Hold on, y'all. Cause didn't she have a sheet up with some thumbtacks? Was this at the same place? Correct me if I'm wrong. But Queen Step, is Queen Step still in the chat? Wasn't Queen Step the one who called that out? Where she had a sheet or a towel or something in the window hooked on with some thumbtacks in the living room or something? No, y'all. Okay, so let me. I told you, Michelle, it's like 12 or 13 pages. And then I ain't even read it all. I'm skimming through it. Okay. I'm just getting to the T parts. But let me explain the last name situation, y'all. Okay. So when it comes to Hampton being on this lease, right? She, mind y'all, she been in this townhouse for 18 months. Okay. She got the townhouse back in February of 2024. She was still a Hampton then. Her and LaTruth didn't divorce until April of 2024. That's when she had to change the name back to Battle. So that is why Hampton is still on this lease agreement. Because this is the initial lease agreement from when she first signed it back in February. The divorce happened in April. So that's why. It wasn't that she was just using the last name Hampton. She was still a Hampton at that time, y'all. And this is the older paperwork. It just seemed like it's fresh because it's being reviewed now. But that's not the case. That's not the case. So now let's say we was to get a hold of another lease agreement now, it would be battle. It would be battle because her driver's license is battle and all of that now. Because RH made it a requirement for her to change that during the divorce. She had to change her license back and everything. Um, so I just want to clear that up. Okay, let me see. Said somebody said that's the only reason why she got it. No. She probably put the money down. She put the money down for it. And think about it. Back then, y'all, she had a little bit of change. When she first got this place, well, she had a little bit of change. She wasn't doing bad when she first got it. Okay. She wasn't doing like how she's doing now. She wasn't that bad all. All right. So let me see. Hold on. Where we at? Dang, I hate when I lose my spot. Okay, no window treatments. Queen Steph still in here. She gone. Tupac, thanks for explicitly explaining that. Makes sense now. You're welcome, my love. You're welcome. Okay, let me see. Jay, no window treatments currently existing. Okay, I read that part. Hold on. No sheets, blankets, towels, cardboard, newspaper, or other makeshift. Not makeshift. Y'all forgot aluminum foil. Wait, y'all. Makeshift meaning like you making a curtain. Like you can't do that. He said no sheets, blankets, towels, cardboard, newspaper, or other makeshift temporary window treatments shall be used on the premises or property. Meaning no ghetto project. Okay, none of that. We ain't going for it. He said we ain't going for it. You ain't making no curtain here. If you ain't gonna get no proper curtain, you ain't you ain't creating one either. Oh Lord, it's the makeshift for me. I ain't never heard it used like that. All right. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, he don't want his ish looking ghetto. Exactly. Like you ain't doing that over here, baby. But didn't she have that though, y'all? I remember. I think it was Queen Steph. It was one of Queen Steph videos where Queen Steph showed it where she had it was a sheet or something with some thumbtacks. It was like a sheet and some thumbtacks on one of the windows. Queen Steph must be gone. But I remember when Queen Steph showed it on one of her live streams. All right, so it says, hold on. K, other than normal household goods in quantities reasonably expected in normal household use, no goods or materials of any kind or description which exceed the normal structural weight loads for the premises or property are combustible or would increase fire risk or increase the risk of other injuries or casualties shall be kept or placed on the premises or property. Hold on. No, not I, L, child. They look like an I. Let me zoom in a little bit. I can barely see. So it say L. No nail screws or adhesive hangers except standard picture hooks, shade brackets shade brackets and curtain rods may be placed in walls, woodwork, or any part of the premises or property. So I wonder if she used actual photo hooks and not nails and screws. Because she put a lot of holes in them walls with all of them pictures and plaques and stuff she put up, y'all. Queen Steph, I'm glad you back. Wasn't you the one who showed where she had a sheet with some thumbtacks in the window or something? I know I'm not tripping. Nobody answered. I remember you showing that on a live stream. Because per the lease agreement, she wasn't supposed to do that. He said no makeshift curtains. That was at Thick Hips house, I do believe. I remember seeing it. Whoever house, I don't know if it was hers or his, but I remember Queen Steph calling it out. Look, she said yes. Was it at her place or was it at Janelle's place? Let me know. I remember it though. Queen Step did a live, y'all, and she showed it. She zoomed in on it, everything. She was like, "This girl got a sheet and some thumbtacks." I remember y'all. I'm telling y'all. Hey, Aaron, my love. Auntie Pimo as well. Yep, Auntie Pimo too. I think Queen Step was the first one to call it out though. At least she was the first one. That was so funny. All right, let me see. It was Queen Step said it was at her place, y'all. It was at her place. I knew I wasn't tripping because see nobody answered at first. I was like, "Am I tripping?" But thank you for clarifying it. I remember it being your live stream though. Okay, so hold on, y'all. Let me see where we at. It says, okay, we read the part about the no nail screws or adhesive hangers, only standard picture hooks, shade brackets, and curtain rods may be placed in walls. Okay. It says tenant shall not engage. Oh, here you go, y'all. This the one right here. Let me just say this. Y'all remember the door cam videos? Not door cam. What was it? Ring doorbell videos? Multiple ring doorbell videos on multiple occasions. Y'all know that the way these townhouses are made, they are right by each other, literally. It's given apartment buildings, but not completely connected, but connected, if that makes sense. That's what it's given. So let me read this part, meaning that her neighbors is literally right next to her. So they can hear any and everything going on over there. If y'all remember in one of those ring doorbell videos, Janelle was like, you yelling and this and that, the neighbors gonna hear, and or you want me to come over, you want me to something, you want me to be over there, come over there, and the neighbors can hear everything. Something he was saying. But listen to this part. Hey JJ, my love. Okay, so it says, and this is why I wouldn't be surprised if any of those tenants didn't report her for this, because they had a lot going on over there on multiple different occasions where they got into it and she was yelling all on the ring doorbell camera at his ass. So this thing, hold on. Tenant shall not engage in any behavior in the premises or on the property, including but not limited to yelling, screaming, playing loud music, playing the television at an excessive volume that unreasonably disturbs other tenants in the sole reasonable opinion of landlord constitutes a nuisance. Meaning if it's an excessive, like none of that should be done there. Meaning they don't want no disturbances. No neighbor disturbances, no loud music, no fussing, no arguing. Once it becomes a nuisance, it's a problem. Especially if your your fellow tenants start reporting. Okay? I'm that girl. You're not gonna keep playing with me like I'm not somebody. I'm that girl. Okay? None of that. Loud, bass. All the bass in the voice. Yeah. Them people probably, y'all, them people over there, the fellow tenants probably got an earful. I wouldn't be surprised because based on those videos that she put out, all those ring doorbell camera videos wasn't all from the same day, y'all. It was from multiple days, multiple times. She said that in her live. That live that she did crashing out outside of his house, she said that. How many times, sis, how many times has Janelle come to the house and he's on the ring doorbell camera trying to come in? Multiple times, y'all. Okay? So the next one, in all appliances equipped in systems on or serving the premises shall only be used in accordance with the manufacturer's operating instructions. That's about the appliances. Oh, tenant shall not flush down a toilet any sanitary napkins, paper towels, diapers, or other item not intended to be disposed of in a toilet. That's common sense. P, The premises shall only be used for residential purposes. No trade or business uses shall be permitted except with the prior written consent of landlord and provided that such use is permitted under applicable zoning laws. Q, any product or material that is a potential environmental hazard shall only be disposed of in accordance with all applicable federal laws and regulations. Baby, that man ain't playing. Okay? He ain't playing with his unit. Damn. All right, let me see. Do I want to do this one or go straight to the picture? Senate agrees to indemnify and hold landlord. Indemnification. That could be important, but it's a lot. Should we already at 3 hours? Oh my God. I gotta get off here, y'all. It's too long. That's why my head's starting to hurt. And I had so much more to show y'all, but I ain't doing it tonight. Okay, let me see. Hold up. Required renters insurance. Hold up. Move in / out condition report. Owner's property disclosure statement. Wait, I wonder if she had to get renters insurance. Because that's checked off. All exhibits attached here to listed and selected below are referenced here and are made a part of this lease. If any such exhibit conflicts with any preceding paragraph, said exhibit shall control requirement. Okay, so he probably got that. He probably got the insurance. Let's see. There is no right of early termination. Because what he could have did is got renter's insurance and charged it through her rent, like most landlords do. And then if something happened, everything goes to them, which rightfully so, it is their property. Filters for HVAC need to be cleaned / changed every month. Service due to dirty filter to be paid by tenant. Furnace, water heaters, cutoffs, break box to be clean at all times. Damn. Hold on, y'all. Let me read. I ain't gonna put this on the screen, but I'm gonna read it to y'all. Then I'm gonna show y'all the pictures. All right, let me take this down. I'm gonna hurry up and read this, then I'm gonna show y'all the pictures. Hold up. Okay. Oh, I need something to drink. My mouth is dry. Beware of cyber fraud. Okay. Exhibits, I read that. Special stipulations. There is no right of an early termination by tenant. This is a minimum. Oh, hold up, y'all. Hold up. Let's read that part. It says exhibits. Let's read that. Number 12, exhibits. All exhibits attached here to. Wait. I read that part already. My bad. Special stipulations. This is the part we read. And it says that, matter of fact, let me put it on the screen for y'all. Hold up. Let's put that part. That way they can't say I'm lying, child. We're going to put that part on the screen. Beware of cyber fraud. Let me make sure we got the right page. It's not it. Okay. That's not it. Where is that doggone page? This the one. This the one. This the one. This the one. Ooh. I did not want to do that. All right. Okay. 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 Let me read this part. So it says, y'all, under special stipulations, it says, and this is also a part of her lease. She signed off on this too. It says the following special stipulations, if conflicting with any exhibit addendum or preceding paragraph, including, I'm on my phone, any changes thereto made by the parties shall control. Number 1, there is no right of early termination by tenant. This is a minimum 18-month lease. Penalty for early termination for any reason will be based on length of time remaining in the lease and amount to 2,800 times length of remaining in the lease. Meaning if she would have broke the lease, she would have still been required to pay that 2,800 in order to break it. Should have to pay it. Whether in probably just in the full amount. I don't even think he would allow her to pay it month to month. Because I mean if paying it to month, you might as well just still stay there. Like imagine paying month to month lease somewhere and you not even living in the move. You might as well either pay it in full or stay in the property. But it was no breaking of the lease. It was a required 18-month lease, he said. I guess unless otherwise specified. But this is under special stipulation. Even though he can break it because he's the landlord. So let's say he would have said, okay, I'll do month to month with you. He's allowed to do that because this is his property. But she ain't allowed to do much because she's the tenant. It says, okay, read that, remaining time, utility names. Tenant must set up immediately gas, water, electric, pest and garbage. Any charge for utilities after lease start date to be paid by tenants. Utilities to be left on until move out, walkthrough, or fee will be charged per lease. Tenant can choose any choice of the service provider who is available to the service area. 3, notify landlord immediately of any plumbing leak or other problems without to prevent damage. Notify landlord immediately to prevent damage. Okay? Then it says, today you crazy. Hold on, where I stop. 4, any damage to appliances must be replaced with brand new at tenant's expense with professional service company. So if she'd have broke the refrigerator, the stove, the the washer, the dryer, the microwave, disposal, anything. She had to replace it brand new. 5, if emergency, call 911. 6, tenants to abide by HOA rules at all times. Any fees for non-compliance to be paid by tenants due and payable upon. 7, tenants agree to water lawn 2 times per week during summer months. 8, tenants are encouraged to use command strips for hanging pictures on walls to avoid damage. Number 9, amount due for signing the lease advance 2,800. 10, if tenant fails to pay first month's rent by March 5th, this lease will be null and void and tenant security deposit will be forfeited. Meaning if she wouldn't have paid that first month rent, he would have kept the security deposit. Okay? And he could have kicked out too. Well, let me see. Okay, I read filters for HVAC to be cleaned and changed every month. Furnace, 13, renters insurance to be maintained during entire lease period. Paid declaration paid to landlord due at lease sign and every insurance renewal. 14, tenant and landlord shall conduct moving inspection and lease after lease is signed. All issues noted will be repaired per agreement with tenant and landlord before moving. My baby that made it back from the party. I gotta ask him how was his time there. 15, refrigerator filter needs to be replaced based on notification every 6 months is applicable. Only original filters to be used. Using duplicate or non-brand will cause damage and tenant is responsible. I can't really see 16 because it's like an overprint. But it says something about pest infections during move out or post move if pest infections are, I can't see that, identified within 1 to 2 months of move out date, tenant will be held responsible for complete damages, meaning like roaches. Joe's apartment. It's getting it ain't, I hope it ain't giving Joe's apartment. Ooh, child, hold on. Oh Lord, I thought about roaches and started choking. All right, hold on, y'all. Um, any loss of swimming pool tab key, tenant will be responsible for the loss and expenses to reorder the key. Okay, that was a good one. She signed on the dotted line. She signed and she printed, child. Okay. Let me see. Okay, appliances provided by landlord. I think I told y'all this already, but dishwasher, disposal, dryer, microwave, range, refrigerator, washer, dryer. Then he also provided internet booster on each floor, smart thermostat on each floor, smart lights in master bedroom, and smart door lock. That's how you know it's a fan. That little place was fancy. She didn't cook, so that stove should be good. Listen, well, that microwave should be hell. Okay, it probably need a new microwave if she wasn't cooking like that. It definitely probably need a new microwave, baby. It says, okay, the lease shall automatically renew in 18 months increment, each of which shall be referred to as a renewal term. Hold on. To the number days notice to turn. Wait, child, and skip the whole line. Okay, I think I read this part already. Uh, okay, we don't need to go over that part. All right, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all this right quick. Let's go to the pictures. Ooh, my back. Let me take this down. I got a piece so bad. I really don't like holding my feet. I got to pee, but I don't want to go pee and then come back. I want to get up and be done with the lives. So noodles everywhere. Queen Steph is great. Not the noodles. The noodles. Listen. You know them cheering love some noodles. I ain't gonna lie. Mine like noodles too, but I don't let them eat them too much. Because it's a lot of sodium in them noodles, child. A lot of salt. Mine be wanting some cooked food. Matter of fact, tomorrow I'm doing baked chicken and cabbage with cornbread. Um, I'm gonna do some smoked meat in my cabbage and baked chicken. I might do some honey lemon baked chicken or something. Switch it up a little bit instead of the usual just regular dry rub baked chicken. Probably switch it up. But and some rice, of course. That's what I'm doing. I want some gumbo. Ham been bugging me for okra gumbo for a hot minute, but I told her it's too hot. We need a cool day. We need at least a cool front for gumbo. Imagine making gumbo in 100-degree weather, because you running that stove consistently, so it make your house extra hot. So I be having to put a fan in the kitchen and everything. But my baby love gumbo, y'all. All right, hold on. Let me pull up these pictures. Ham love for some gumbo. And I put them big old Dungeness crab paws in my gumbo too. So my children love that. Let's show y'all these pictures real quick. So we can get up off of here. Because my baby back. So we're going to watch our show. I got one show I'm watching with him and one show I'm watching with Ham, child. And I promised him I wasn't going to watch it while she was gone. She had her grandma. So wait till she get back tomorrow. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna go through them kind of fast. So we can get off here, y'all. Let me see. Hey, Miss Freddie. Hey, my love. Let me see. I'm cooking tomorrow 2 steak, potatoes, macaroni, cheese, string beans, and cornbread. That sounds good. Queen Steph said, I don't care what weather. I've been craving gumbo. I want some too. Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Not me yawning, child. So you cook it anytime, Queen Steph? I do. I don't do it. If it's too hot, I can't do it. I can't, y'all be done passed out in that kitchen. You know that Louisiana weather hit different. Okay, so you in Georgia, so you might be good, but out here you don't get too many people cooking gumbo in the summertime. Like when I tell y'all that humidity here is different, that's a different beat. It don't matter what type of central unit you got or how good it works, baby. When that stove is on and that heat is on, cause like in my kitchen, I got this big open like window in my kitchen, y'all. Like it's so big. And well, I the way my house is placed too, I got a lot of shade trees on my yard. So it's not that bad, but it still gets, it's hot. Like Louisiana is just automatically hot. So, we more so do our gumbos like in the spring or the fall and definitely the winter. We cook so much gumbo in the wintertime. You don't even want it in the summer. So we cook it a lot. You say we've been having cool weather. Y'all lucky. I'm waiting for a cool front. As soon as that cool front hit, baby, that gumbo gonna be rolling. Period. Cause I want a good. I'm like Ham. I want a good one too, with smothered okra and all that in there. I have my AC on 65 cooking. I don't blame you. You got to with that. You got to. But you see here, even if the way the heat is set up here, even if you put you set your air conditioners to 65, it won't, the internal temperature won't reach 65 in your home because it's too hot outside. That's how it works here. Okay. Yes, Texas. Oh Lord, Texas is even worse. Y'all even worse. Let me pull this up. Y'all are definitely worse. Y'all, I'm gonna kind of go through these pictures a little fast. All right, this is the first one, y'all. They're not in order either, so they're not in order. But this is one of the rooms. That's one of the rooms, y'all. I wish I could have put them all on the screen at one time because this is so time consuming. Um, putting this up here. Hold up. Let's go here. And then we have this is another room. This is another one. All right. Okay. I'm going kind of fast. Let's see. Then we have this is the living room area, the fireplace. Living room fireplace. As y'all can see, the living room is fairly big. Some people call it a den. I would say den because it got the fireplace. Because most living rooms don't have a fireplace. Well, some do. Because some homes only come with one living room area. So some homes come with a living room and a den. So yeah. All right. So this is that area of the house. Nice little fireplace. See y'all, I told y'all it's very nice. Very nice townhouse. Let me get some more pictures. Hey, Casserelle. Yes, love okra. Yes, okra. I'm doing seafood and chicken gumbo. When you doing that, Queen Steph? It's saucy. Oh, I read it. When you doing that? I'm gonna have to show. A lot of people don't like okra. I'm gonna have to show y'all how to smother okra my way, my family way. You gotta cook that slime out of it. That's why a lot of people don't like it because it's slimy. You just gotta know how to. You gotta cook. See, we can our okra here. We can't like we'll get. A lot of people grow okra in our area around here. That's okra is real common for it. Some people say okra. We say okra. Okay, we country. But what we do is we get the okra whole and wash it, of course, cut it up into little slices, and then we get a big old roaster, cast iron pot, whatever you want to get. But most use the roaster with the top or whatever. You can either cook it on the stove or you can cook it in the oven. And what you do is you add a little cooking oil, little vegetable, to the bottom of your pot. Add your okra in there, and you put a little bit of vinegar. The vinegar helps the slime cook out faster. And you just, if you cook it in the oven, you need to stir it every once in a while. But it take a little while to cook in the oven. You cooking it on the stove, it cook a little faster because you can kind of control it also a little easier on the stove. which my mama and my grandma them, they cook their okra in the oven. But I feel like if you cook in big batches to preserve, um, it's better to cook it. Well, most people cook it in the oven, but if I'm canning a little batch, like a little bit, I'll do it on the stove. But put a little vinegar, keep stirring. The process you got to keep stirring. That's how you cook the slime out. Cause nobody in Louisiana is eating no slimy okra. Okay, we do not eat it slimy, y'all. You got to cook all that slime out. That's why a lot of people do not like okra because it's slimy. You just got to know how to preserve it. You got to know how to can it. And trust me, you can get all the slime out. That's when the okra is really hidden. Once you get that slime out. And then we start smothering that thing down with tomato paste, tomato sauce. My grandma, she like hers green for some reason. She'll just, cook it a little bit in a black pot with a little oil. She put some dry shrimp, child, with her rice and hot sauce. That's old school. I like mine with tomato sauce. So, I smother mine down. That's what we call smothered okra too. With tomato sauce, you can put some smoked meat in there. You can put some dry shrimp, some green shrimp, whatever. And it's good. Talk about pressure. Over some rice with some cornbread. Child, that's a whole meal, y'all. That is a whole meal. I'm going to show y'all a picture. Whenever I get off here, I'm going to post a picture of my smothered okra on my community wall so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Talk about is good. That's one of my favorite meals. Let me see, but this is the other picture of the living room area, y'all, but it's from a different angle. Let's see. Hey, I am her. Please step what you said. I didn't see when you said you was cooking. I see you say I'm doing a seafood and chicken gumbo. Um, oh, you're doing it tomorrow. Ooh, you making me want to do one. But you see, my problem is I can't cook a small one. I always, y'all, because I cater and stuff like that, so I can't cook small meals like for nothing. So when I make gumbo, I have to tell family members because I be having too much. But trust me, they don't mind because they always asking me what I cook anyway. I cook it on the stove and in the iron. You can do that, yep. Especially if you're not doing a lot. And you see the canning process. We see when we first clean and cut it up, and to can it or whatever, we get the little half-gallon size Ziploc bags. And what you also do is you add a can of Rotel in there too. When the slime is cooked out, you add your Rotel. So your okra is pre-cooked. So once you get ready to smother it down, put it in gumbo or whatever, you don't have no slimy okra. Okay, it's no longer slimy because you done canned it and you freeze all your little half-gallon packs. And whenever you get ready to cook, you just take one out the freezer, whether it's smothering it, putting it in gumbo, whatever. That's how you do that. I cook it on the stove. Okay, I read that part. Let me see. You say I'm mad. I'm late. I touched down in Houston early and it drained me. I'm just waking up. That's okay. You can catch the replay, my love. This is a preview of the cooking channel, Cooking with Pop. I actually got one, y'all. Just I ain't had time to put no content on it. I'm gonna have to try though, because I created a cooking channel so long ago. Like that channel been up for about a year and a half. I created in the midst of the saga and just never put no content on it. Well, I got a few videos, but I don't be having time. Like, and I'm the type of cook, like, it's so hard for me to cook in and do step by step, like, cause I be rolling in the kitchen. So I be trying though. I'm gonna try to, develop some type of something to get it done. Cause I was been supposed to like add cooking to my stuff, but I don't want to add it to my reaction channel. I want it to be separate. The slime is actually where the good ingredients. It is, but it's nasty. Like we just don't eat the slime here. Like nobody gonna eat no slime in okra here. That's just something Louisiana don't do. But it is good for you, but we just don't eat it. We won't. Nobody will eat it like that here. Drink okra water. Yep, it is good for you. Okra is good. And well, it ain't good for you once you put it with some smoked meat tomatoes. in that root gravy for that gumbo, it's no longer good for you. But in a certain form, it is raw, with the slime and stuff like that. But once you put it without all of them ingredients, baby, it's no longer good, y'all. Now it's good taste wise, but it ain't good for your body. I remember that too. Just coming back in the chat. Look like I see you don't say Earl for all like some child. Listen, you would be surprised the people that don't say Earl. Like I never heard nobody say Earl. Earl? I never heard nobody from Louisiana. Now I ain't saying they don't, but maybe it's a certain area. Because we say all. We say everybody I know say all. So maybe it's a certain area. But my grandma, like my mom's mom, she got a really thick accent, y'all. So she say fur. Now she say Earl. I take it back. She do say Earl. She say furl. Like when she say like aluminum fall, she say furl. So I take it back. My grandma do talk like that, but her accent is thicker than mine. So maybe that's what it is. She a little more country child. Thanks for the hint. I got you. I'm gonna try to catch some of your live. What time? Let me know what time you go live. If you want some help, I'll help you out. Teach you how to do it our way. I'm pretty sure you. I mean, you already know how to cook, so. But I'm pretty sure we in different states, so we probably do it a little different. Um, I remember a long time you talked about. I mean, a long time ago you talked about your cooking channel. Laugh aloud. Set the phone up while you cook. That's what I do. Y'all, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get to it. It's not so much not doing it or not wanting to do it. It's the schedule of doing. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna try though, because that is something I've been wanting to do. Like I really do want to bless people with this talent. I have a talent for cooking, so I don't know. I'm gonna try to get to it though. I'm gonna try. Hey, True Slayer, you say you see me? I can't believe I'm still alive. We almost 3.5 child, probably because I ain't really had nothing to do too. And it's Saturday. But I'm about to get off here. I'm gonna show y'all the rest of these pictures and we're gonna call it a night. Because my baby done made it back too. So we're gonna watch our show. But yeah, y'all, this is another angle of the living room. All right, let's take this one off. And then we have, let's see. This is another room. I think this was a part of her room right here. I think this one was a part of her room. The room that she had, because it's real big. So, and this looked like this would have been the master bath area right here. So I think this was her room, y'all. Okay, let's take this one off. And anybody coming in watching it could always pause it. Can always pause it to see those pictures. Don't be stingy with the recipes. I won't. It's nice. Certain recipes I won't give. Like that I created I damn it created all of them, but certain ones that I created that's like that I sell, I can't give them. Like cookie recipes and stuff like that. That's something that I'm gonna pass down to my kids. But but anything else outside of stuff like anything dealing with food, I definitely give the recipe for that. But like certain sweets and stuff, I won't give because I make a good profit off of it. Let's see. Okay, so this is another picture of one of the rooms with the two windows, y'all. Y'all can see. But anything you want to know, um, any Louisiana recipe you want to know, Queen Steph, just message me. I'll let you know what we use and stuff. And it ain't like you need step by step help because you already know how to cook. So, once I tell you the recipe in a little light instruction, you gonna know what to do. Because you already know how to cook. So it's the ones who don't know how to cook at all. It'd be hard teaching y'all. I ain't gonna lie. When people message me and they don't know how to cook at all, that's the ones that's hard to teach. Okay, because you got to tell them literally every single detail. But if you already know a little something, then it ain't hard. It ain't hard to give you the recipe and a little instruction. This is one of the bathrooms, y'all. I don't think this the master bath. I don't think this the master bath. No, wait. I don't know. But this is one of the bathrooms. Um, let's take that one down. I'm shocked my son ain't came in here. See what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, this is another one. This is the I guess it's a dining area, or is it a breakfast nook? I think this is a dining area because it's a nice size. This must be like a little. I don't know if it's like a break. This is a little small for a breakfast nook. This might be for like a some type of breakfast cabinet or something right here in this little indention. But this is like the dining area. Gotta be. I think this is the dining area, y'all. All right. Exactly. Every woman should know how to cook. For real. You should. Every woman should know how to cook, especially if you got kids. Ain't no excuses. Because them cheering don't need to be eating no fast food every single day. Every woman should definitely know how to cook stuff. Um, shoot, my boys know how to cook, baby. We ain't doing that. My son, my oldest son. Now I'm preparing my middle son. He ain't number 12. But my oldest son, baby, he can cook you a full course meal. I'm talking about anything you want to eat. Lobster tails. He know how to cook baked chicken, smothered chicken, fried chicken, gumbo, sticky chicken, because it's a difference. We got sticky and we got smothered. He can cook you etouffee. He can cook you a stew. He can cook you pasta, salmon, baked salmon, air fried salmon. He can cook omelets like Mo. I done taught him very well. So yeah, he gonna be one of the ones, baby. And he number 17 years old. And he been knowing how to cook since he was 11 years old. He's definitely gonna be one of them ones. And he can bake. So yep. I taught him very well. Um, so this is the kitchen, y'all. The kitchen ain't too big, but I feel like this size kitchen was perfect for that size townhome. So yeah, because not everybody like a big kitchen. Now me, this ain't big enough for me because I need a little more on the cabinet space. Like the kitchen size ain't small, but I need a little more with the cabinet. I mean not cabinet with the island. Like I gotta have a lot of space because when I do cook, like for holidays, I cook a lot of food. I'm gonna show y'all like when Thanksgiving get you and Christmas. Well, I might go to my sister for Christmas, but Thanksgiving, watch. I cook a lot of food, y'all. Um, but I don't mind the area size, but I need more space to put all my stuff on. So I would need a big island. The kitchen don't have to be that big, but the island definitely need to give a little more. Because it's like, where are you gonna put, like pans and stuff? Okay, all right, but this is the kitchen. Real cute, real tiny, real demure. So let me see what else we got. Let me see. Let me see. I think that's it. Oh no, look, there's another one right here. This is another bathroom picture. I think this is yeah, this is the master bathroom, y'all, because you can see it got his and her sink. His and her sink, and I'm guessing this might be where the toilet was. And then you can see in the mirror the shower or whatever. So I guess I probably had a shower and a tub. This is nice. I like it. I like this. It's probably before she moved in. Oh, definitely before. these these are definitely before pictures, y'all. Um, okay, let's take that down. We don't know how we don't know how the after pictures look unless he decides to submit some when he go to court. Now let me see which one is the first floor picture. They got two of those. Hold up. This is the second floor. Okay. So let me show y'all this. Show y'all this. So this is and it should be big, y'all. This is the second floor because it's a first floor and it's a second floor. They had stairs in there. So as you can see, they got let me go up a little bit. As you can see where it says second floor, the owner's suite, that's her room. That would have been her room, right? That's look, it is really big. You can see it's really big. The owner's suite, and then you can see they have a little area right here. Once you leave out of the owner's suite, I don't know what this was. So this could have potentially been an extra room right here that's not marked off. See, it don't have no marking on it, but it's definitely a whole nother side to the house right here. And then you have a laundry room right here on the side of the owner's suite. So this is a whole nother room right here, y'all, on the side of her room. And then it says open to below right here. I don't know what that is, but this is basically the bottom part of the house. Where it says top part, second floor. So this is the top part of the house. Owner suite, a little room right here. Oh, this the basement. This is the second floor. This is upstairs, huh? Ain't this upstairs? The second floor, like the first floor is the bottom, then the second floor is upstairs, right? They put basements upstairs. I thought they put the basements at, I don't know, child. I don't know. I thought it was an attic at the time. I don't know. Y'all confusing me. Okay. So then you got the laundry room right here, and here's the loft. This is the master bathroom right here. You can see it's a nice size master bath. Leaving out, because this is the door right here. Leaving out, you go straight to the master bath, and then there's a door right here for this loft. So when it says 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, the loft I would think is considered another bedroom or can be a bedroom, y'all. No, second floor is above ground level. That's what I said. Thank you, True Slayer. That's what I thought it was. I assumed the first floor is the first floor, the bottom, and then the second floor is the second floor upstairs. Attics are upstairs, basements are downstairs. Okay, so this is maybe an extra room right here, because as you can see, unless it's a balcony, it could be a balcony too, huh, y'all? Because notice you see where it opens. They got this little thing right here that kind of opens. That's a door. I wish my mouse would show y'all on the screen, but that's a door right there. No, what you see right where the F on floor is, go up a little bit, and that little indentation, that's a door. So I would assume that's either a balcony or extra room. Okay. So then we have the owner's suite, which would have been hers, the laundry room right next to it on the right, open to below. I don't know what that is. Then we have the master bath. You can see a door here where she had from the owner's suite, they had a door to go into the master bath, and then they had a door to go into the loft. The loft is considered another bedroom. Well, it could have been. Let's say that. It could have been another bedroom, y'all. So that's why I said she didn't have to keep the loft for herself. She could have made that a room for Momo. Because a loft can be, let me Google it. Hold on. Let me make sure. Can a loft be used as another bedroom? It says yes, a loft can be used as a bedroom, but it must meet specific local building and safety codes for it to be legally considered a true bedroom. So it could have been used as a bedroom, y'all. It could have been used as a bedroom. And it says, without meeting these codes, the space can only be used as a general loft or attic room and may not add value as a bedroom in real estate listings, but it had to meet certain codes. So for all we know, that could have been considered the fourth bedroom because they don't have a fourth bedroom marked off on these pictures. I'm going to show y'all the other one too, but they don't have a fourth bedroom marked off on here. So that's what it could have been. Oh, so you think that's a closet? That could be a closet. That's a big ass closet. That's a big ass closet, y'all. That's like another room. Damn. That's a big ass walk-in closet. But I do remember her saying she had a walk-in closet when she did that video on YouTube. So that's a big ass walk-in closet, child. That's damn near half of the owner suite. So yeah, that's the walk-in. So we got the owner suite here. And then the owner suite, if y'all notice, it has 3 doors on it. One door to the master bath, one door to the loft, and one door to the, we'll say, walk-in closet, right? So that's crazy. That's how you know that owner suite was big too, because it got 3 doors on it. What bedroom you know got 3 doors on it? So, like I said, laundry room. What is this right here that says, oh, I know what this is, because this is the stairs. So this is the area right when you get off the stairs to the bottom level. When you go back to the first level, the first floor, that's open right there. That's the stair area once you get, once you go down the stairs. Okay. So then we have, let's go down a little bit. Okay, let's go down. So then we did the loft, we did the master bedroom. So then we have bedroom number 2. So it's marked off bedroom 2 and 3. So the owner suite will be considered bedroom number 1, right? So we have bedroom number 2, bedroom number 3. That's some nice sized rooms too. And then they have a bathroom right here. I wouldn't say it's a Jack and Jill bathroom, because normally a Jack and Jill bathroom is in the middle where they can share. But would you say that these 2 rooms shared a bathroom? So, but it did say it had 3.5 bathrooms on the listing. So that, I don't know. So that's 2 bathrooms up here. 2 bathrooms, because you got the master suite bathroom, and then you got the bathroom for these 2 bedrooms right here, right? So that's it for the top area. And like I said, we'll consider the loft as the 4th bedroom. So we got the owner suite, we got the loft. Because notice, once you close the door, the loft is no longer open, except for over here. It is open over here, right? All right. So, but it can be used as another bedroom. So we have that. So we'll say 3.5 bedrooms. We'll count the loft as a half, because we don't know if that's what he considered as another bedroom on the listing, right? Something is being considered a 4th bedroom. So let's get to the other one. Let me take this one down. And we're going to put up the other one and get our ass off here, child. They're going to be like, Papa's online for almost 4 hours. I can't believe it either, because that time went by fast as hell. Reading that shit. Stuff. All right. First floor. All right. Let's see. Trying to go down some, but quick. All right, y'all. So, my phone back on the charger. It's time for me to get off I gotta keep my voice starting to go crazy. Okay, y'all. So 2-car garage in the front. You know what? I like and appreciate garages a little bit, but I feel like it takes away so much from the house. Like it takes away entirely too much from the square footage of the home. Of course, I want a garage. I wouldn't mind a garage, but that's a big ass garage. Like it literally takes away a lot of the square footage of the home. That's what I don't appreciate. Now, if I could still get a lot of square footage and a garage, that's different. But if the home is small and if the garage is big as hell, that's a problem for me. That is a problem for me. All right, let's go down some with that big old garage. Go down some. I wonder what's this. Oh, that might be the backyard. Okay, so then we have. Did I go all the way down there? Okay, so we have the garage. Then we have the 2-story foyer. Okay, this is the area. Once you come down the stairs, this is the area right here where up on the other one it said hold on, let me tell y'all. On the other one it said open to below. So 2-story foyer. And then you would go up the stairs. Up, yeah. I'm tripping. Okay. So then we have the dining room. That's that big old room right there by the kitchen that I showed y'all. And then this is the door to go into the garage. Then you have a powder room, which is also another bathroom. I wonder why it say 3.5 baths. On the site it say 3.5 baths. It say 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, y'all. That's what it say on the site. That's weird. Hmm. Let me see. Yeah, on the site it say 4 bedroom, 3.5 baths. That's crazy. But half baths don't have to exactly. They don't. Because they lie on the listings, laugh aloud. Listen, they must have lied, Queen Steph. They must have lied because what we counted, 2 bathrooms upstairs. We counted the master bath, and then we counted that one bathroom that the other 2 bedrooms shared. So it's 2.5 baths. It's two. You could say 4 bedrooms, like I said, because that loft can be counted as an extra bedroom. It was big enough to be an extra bedroom, and it had 2 enclosures on it. Even though it was kind of open on one side, it still could be used as a bedroom for a small child, like Momo, right? Even though she didn't use it for that, but it could be counted as a bedroom. But it definitely ain't got no 3.5 bath. I see 2.5. 2 upstairs, one being the master, and then they have a powder room right here. And this is the half. So that third bathroom ain't there. That's crazy. So then we got, of course, the dining area. We got the great room. What is the great room? Is that what they call a living room? We we call it. Okay, so this will be the fireplace right here. So maybe that's what they call the living room now. We call it a living room, but they say great room. But that is a nice size room. That would have been the living room, y'all. And then they have the kitchen, of course. Then they have a little breakfast nook over here. The breakfast nook right there, kitchen, dining room. And then my thing is, to me, the breakfast nook should have been enough. The dining room could have been a whole nother room too. Because most people don't sit at no dining room table anyway. I know we don't. I got one child that's sitting in my dining room, and that's it. And that's my middle son. Everybody else, me, I sit at the bar. Ham sit at the bar. My oldest son sit at the bar, or he's eating his room. But other than that, the only one that sit at the yeah, the only one sit at the dining room is my middle son. Nobody really do that. Back in the day, they used to do that, but uh, or we eat in the living room or whatever. But yep. So that's it, y'all. That is it. That's all they got. I'm finna get up off here. I am tired now. I was supposed to been get off here. Ooh, I almost got that little piece of coffee left. Um, and start watching my doggone show. I love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with me for almost 4 goddamn hours. That don't make no sense. They gonna start calling me pissy. Ooh, child, let me get up. I gotta pee, y'all. They gonna start calling me pissy pop. Why? What y'all talking about? She stayed on live almost 4 hours. She ain't went pee. We gonna call her pissy pop. Listen, I ain't gonna piss on myself. I try to hold my pee for damn near 8 hours, okay? But we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. And no depends needed. That's it. This is a rare live screening here. You will not get another live out of like this out of me for a long time. Okay, y'all. So thank you, Tokyo. Thank you, my love. Let me stop before I give him an idea, y'all. They already talk about some la pop. Oh, child, them trolls as hell. But anyways, I love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out with your girl. Y'all can, if y'all want, y'all can finish off my little goal since I stayed on here with y'all almost 4 hours. There will be some love right there. But y'all don't have to. Y'all don't have to. You definitely hit the like button. Please hit that like button. But I love y'all. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know what time though, y'all, because I gotta do my Sunday dinner. Like I told y'all, I'm doing cabbage and baked chicken, rice, cornbread, and stuff like that. So I don't know what time I'll go live tomorrow. It might be that evening because I still gotta do Ham's hair for the week. I gotta get her hair braided because I do not be combing no hair, child. And lately she been wanting me to comb her hair. I gotta stop getting creative. She's starting to get ideas. Please stop getting creative. She's starting to like them little styles I've been putting, child. So I can get her back to her breeder. Because mama can't be doing that. I ain't got enough patience. And Ham already tender-headed like me. She be hollering and cutting up. I'm like, oh no, we can't do this. We cannot do this. But anyways, let me get up off of here. I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday night, even though the night is almost over. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
Yeah, you tuned in to Lou Pac, baby. She don't follow trends, she follow facts. Receipts ready, energy heavy. Let's go, let's go. Lupac, baby don't play. She speak facts, you see. Truth talk, clap back. All receipts on deck. She stand tall in the booth, got respect on her neck. INDE, yeah, she grinding with ease. PENENT, bring in truth to the streets. Go. She don't do drama, she drop data. Scroll the page, now or later. You'll see lies get exposed and the fake get froze like refrigerators. Name ring bells like second line. Speak real, no need to lie. She from the south with a strong survivor. Snakes don't make it out alive. LUPAC, ain't no faking on the screen. Call a judge, call a jury. She deliver with that heat. You won't clap, but she got truth. No sugar in her speech. Independent, bold and real. This Lupac, baby. Capiche? They scrolling, she exposing. They trolling, she compose. See, Lupac don't just react. She decode what's not disclosed. From screenshots to timelines, receipts in real time. You playing checkers, she playing chess. Every move defined. Got that hustle in her bones. No cosign built her own. Views go up when she speak up. This platform here a throne. LUPAC, baby don't bend. She speak facts, you see. Truth talk, clap back. All receipts on deck. She stand tall in the booth. Got respect on her neck.